Internet! Welcome to the live launch. We are broadcasting live from now, which is 8 p.m. UK time, through to midnight. So 4 hours completely unscripted. It could be interesting, but here goes nothing. My name is Kate Madison. If you don't know, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this evening of hopefully great fun and entertainment. I'm not alone. I'm going to introduce the other guys I have with me. These guys were actors in my previous film, Born of Hope. So please welcome Christopher Dane.
Ooh.
Sorry,
You
do
first.
different orders.
Hello, hello. Hello. You alright?
Do take a seat wherever
Thank
in
you,
your place.
thank you.
We are going to be doing our Born of Hope screening first, so I'm bringing all the guys in so we can watch the film and talk our way through it. We also have Howard Corlett. Come on in, Howard.
Hello, hi world. Where shall I park?
Park yourself there.
You're over here.
And we also have Danny George.
Hey!
Danny.
Come on down. It's like your harem of men.
Hello, I know, my harem of men. And I also have behind camera Alex, who is kindly trying to manage this crazy event for us. So our first thing of the evening, we're going to do a Born of Hope screening. Hopefully lots of you guys have already seen Born of Hope. If you haven't, bring up the Born of Hope video on your desktop, like in a separate window. That's probably best to do. It's on the Actors at Work channel, plus it's also on the Lord of the Rings prequels channel. Bring it up so you can press play when we press play, and then you can watch along and mute us if you don't want us talking, or you can mute that and watch us chatting our way through it. Basically. Sorry for our late start, by the way, technical difficulties and all that. But we will get underway and do our screening. And I think. Who's got the button? Who's going to press play? We're going to watch it here.
I'm button man.
And are you happy there, Alex, with your changing of interesting angles and stuff? Okay, everyone ready to press play? I don't know which angle I'm looking at that camera. And let's do this. Play.
Is it okay?
No. Oh, we're going to be delayed now. Oh well. No, it's not happening. Press the enter button. Oh goodness. Oh, this is all gone wrong already.
Maybe change the batteries.
Has it got batteries?
Seriously, it's not going to play.
Otherwise, we could just pretend to be watching it.
Well, we know the beginning. Oh, he's paused the beginning of the film. Is it going to work? We should have tested this stuff. Clearly, not prepared. Is it not going to play at all?
Where's
Are we going to have to bring it up on the computer?
I'm going to go over here.
Okay.
See what happens.
I think it's probably because you can't reach the thing. Yeah. There you go. It's moving now. Go back to play.
Ooh.
That's it. Oh dear. What? The staff. You can't get it. Seriously, do you want me to do this? Right.
You stay over there.
Did you start the movie or did you start something else? We're watching it via a DVD, just so you know. Hey! Okay, Alex, start your thing. Right, brilliant. Okay, we've got about 2 minutes of sort of like disclaimers and various things anyway, so, so, I feel I'm getting an echo. Is that coming through the headphones? Oh, okay. Well, none of you are in, because this is our opening trailer. And none of you were there for that except you. That 2 a.m. Shoot. Oh no, this is you. This is you as an orc as well.
Oh yeah.
Flashes of randomness. And this we're actually watching. Just so you guys know, don't put it too loud, because is the version that's on my Actors at Work Productions page. It's like a tiny tweak in the edit. That's it. I turn it down a bit. Anyway, well, I suppose as none of you are in this bit, any interesting things to say about the bits? Because the first bit we're coming to is the cart scene, which you all were in.
Yeah.
And it was quite an interesting shoot. It was one of. Well, it wasn't the first shoot, it's kind of the second shoot, essentially. We did that week in July. you've got something to say?
Well, I think maybe before that we have to sort of say that a lot of people have been discussing the ring and what ring they're looking for, these orcs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe we should say it is a ring of Barahir.
Yes, if
Which
that's
is
not
the-
clear,
Yeah.
it is the ring of Barahir that we've decided that they're hunting for the heir of Isildur because they want to wipe out that line. So yeah, that little opening montage was quite a nice little thing that's put in quite late, just to sort of show that they were collecting rings. So the guy had a ring on, and he gets his hand chopped off and stuff. Yeah, so absolutely. And this was a rather epic shoot as well. This waterfall shoot.
Yeah.
You should talk about that first, I suppose, before the cutscene.
Well, I think just before the cutscene we could talk about.
We're going to show some behind the scenes of that later.
Oh, that's great, because this waterfall is absolutely amazing, but it is quite difficult to get to, and we had to log all the equipment down there, and as you can see, the sort of sides of it.
It doesn't look as epic and as big in a way on camera, to a certain degree.
No, it looks.
Maybe it does. Okay, maybe it does.
But if
it
you
doesn't
ask,
show the hell of
Don't
getting
start
there.
putting the film down.
Okay.
if you ask our camera guy, who had to log his equipment all the way down these sort of
Who is
gullies.
scared of heights? So we actually went a long way round, which took about an hour, instead of a very short but near death way that we did on our scout. Yeah.
It's like the Iguazu Falls, isn't it?
It's you've been up. I
Argentina, is it?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, Brecon Beacons, Wales. Can't say the
Our
name of
version,
it.
mini version.
Yeah.
Mini version, yeah.
Now we're at the cart scene.
Okay.
So this was about 4 days at least, wasn't it? I always forget how long this went on for, and the changes of weather that we had.
Yeah.
Because it was bright. I mean, there it's bright sunny, and then we obviously do a colour grade, so you can hardly see that it's lovely bright sunny. Hopefully, to try and match the fact that 1 minute it was absolutely chucking it down, and we got drenched, and the next minute it was bright sunshine.
I remember it chucking it down, right?
Yeah. Very wet. Like mostly when we were doing the fight stuff as well, and the running, the introduction of you guys, it was very, very wet, and there was a lot of slipping over.
Didn't you get stuck in the mud?
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah, I got, because we were sort of running in boots with metal on their heels and stuff like that. It isn't the best thing when you're running in mud that's sort of like this deep,
Yeah.
with swords and capes.
And
That
capes,
get
yeah.
sort
Yeah.
of tangled
You
around your
had,
head.
you had an issue with capes. You had quite an issue with capes as well. Your cape kept swinging around. You had yours always ended up sort of like a bib, I remember.
I had an issue with the cape in the original trailer.
Oh, you did? Yeah. I
That's
don't think we
another
got a clip
story.
of that. But yeah, you did the trippage of the cape thing.
Crouching down, stepping on cloaks wasn't my
Falling
thing,
over.
and then
Yeah.
uncoolly. feeling it.
But here we come. Here,
Oh, is this the best moment?
this is the
do you
Rangers
think?
coming in. See.
Oh, yeah. There
that
you
guy's
go.
good.
Pissing you down with rain. And incidentally, it's that sort of thing that lots of these things are shot in different ways. You got, you did some visual effects in that shot of the arrows coming past.
Yeah.
And different days, different people. There's even a body double in there.
Chew.
That's me.
There you go,
Dancing away.
dancing away. And like my fight was shot at a different time, and it was really rainy at that point. And yeah, and when we actually came to doing the cut, and I keep forgetting this, and then watching behind the scenes and remembering that when we come to do the scene afterwards, that was shot in like lots of different times, and actually different characters weren't there, and the cart wasn't there one day, and we had to pretend the cart was there, and then the cart was there, but then another actor wasn't there, and all that sort of stuff. How did you find the fighting, Danny?
It was fun. I think if I'd been given a little bit more time.
Oh, really? You mean
practice some of the
a year in
routines.
advance? I'm sure we started practicing quite far in advance, but yeah, I know. It's not easy.
I remember finding it quite therapeutic doing take up of slaying orcs.
Yeah.
If you ever have a bad day, just take
Yes.
swords.
Go practice.
We
Kill some orcs.
should really credit
Reset,
the fact
do it
that
again.
you guys, are there to look cool and stuff, but our poor orcs had to just run around and fall down and lie down in mud all the time, so they didn't get to look cool.
Well, yeah. Actually, in that little sequence there, I think I went out with Howard, and we basically, I don't know who was shooting this,
Oh, what,
And-
killing?
Oh, did our own
And
stuff.
we would just.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was like we were
There is
doing
a-
the most vicious kills on sort of like the old style.
I think there is a shot coming up of you guys doing that, killing off. Or
I
was
think,
that?
yeah,
No,
I think
it's
we've
just
missed it.
it's
Yeah,
just
it's
been.
been.
We went off with another camera. Was it?
There's some more of James. That's James
Chris.
checking that everyone's dead and stuff. But yeah, and then see it's bright sunshine again. So it rained when we were doing fighting and running, and then it was fine during the actual car tour, which works really well
Yeah.
with our
I
sort of
think
like
it sort of
colour
creates
grades.
it created like a good mood for when the orcs are there and
Yeah.
when all the fighting sort of happens.
Yeah.
Well, because they're supposed to sort of come out in darkness.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the sort of the concept of changing the colours was really that they were travelling under this sort of almost cloud, so
Yeah.
they could be out in the daylight.
I mean, that was one of those sort of, in a way, compromises of the low budget. You know, we
Yeah.
couldn't shoot at night and do all this stuff at night. It was just, it would have been a nightmare. And so yeah, we were like, well, officially, you know, the orcs aren't meant to be out during the day, but, you know, maybe. And it works in our favour as well, because by putting in the colour grade, one, you can try and match up different weather conditions, because again, the same thing happened at the very end of this movie. With your fighting at the end, where it goes bright sunshine and then really rainy, and that colour grade really helped to kind of disguise it, and it also helps to disguise, you know, the costumes that aren't perfect or the masks that aren't perfect.
What do you
and
mean?
things like that.
There was nothing that wasn't perfect.
Well, okay.
It was all perfect.
It was all.
I've
It was
had
all
since then.
absolutely, especially my wig. That was perfect.
Second time round, yeah, we can get onto that. I'm sure it's talked about at various times.
Yeah, I mean, out of all of the wigs, I'd tend to vote for mine being.
Yours is here. I have your wig here. You can always put it on
best.
later.
Yeah, I should just should wear it out sometimes.
So
You know, just as
I-
a little bit of a
I agree
change.
that
so
your
you're giving
wig
10
was
out
nice.
of 10 to your wig.
Yeah, I mean it slipped a few
Performance-wise.
times during some of the fight sequences, but
What I don't miss though is the makeup girls with those elastic bands, like
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
screwing
Yeah.
all your
There's
hair
video
up,
evidence of you in pain from that.
ripping
one.
your hair out and
That was very
locking.
painful.
You guys had a better deal than I did though, in a way, because I loved my wig, but it was so heavy because it was so big and long and stuff, that trying to like attach it and make it work and not be like tugging at my hair like and stuff. So it really had to be well put on and well glued, because it was quite an epic
Sturdy
thing.
Well, the strange thing as well is that we were wearing the wigs throughout the whole of the day, and then after they were taken off, you would go to sort of brush back your hair, and it wasn't there anymore. But you'd got used to doing that throughout the whole of the day.
Yeah.
It was the strangest thing.
You could actually still feel sort of the strands of hair sort of.
So
I found it quite difficult eating with the wig because I kept getting hair in.
Yeah.
I'd like have to hold it out the way and.
Yeah.
little
You
Alice
guys all
bands.
got girly and get clips or things.
Yeah, I think I even got a braid in my wig at one point.
You did.
Yeah,
You did.
I quite like that.
Yeah. Yeah, good old wigs. They were kind of needed. It was that sort of thing that, I mean, not everyone had a wig, but most people were wigged up because of, I think Philippa was one of the only people almost who played Ilverwen who didn't have a wig, because she had such amazing hair as it was.
Yeah.
But
And Ian obviously
And Ian,
didn't have a wig either.
yeah,
Who
but
plays my father.
he plays your father, yeah. Well, we were going to wig him, and then we just couldn't find a wig for him in the sort of short notice and things that we had, and want to match him and stuff.
Now this scene is quite
This was
interesting.
bold, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It
It was
was-
what, -5
Mine-
or something.
I think so. -5. It was about. We didn't finish until 2 in the morning or something. This is shot at Westow, and yeah, it was absolutely freezing. And yet at the same time, obviously working with fire, and we're very close to all these amazing old, well, you know, reconstructed Anglo-Saxon houses made of wood. And I was terrified. And we didn't have, you know, usually you have the big guys on set with the hoses ready to put out any fires and stuff, and I was sort of terrified of actually lighting this pyre properly, even though we needed it but we didn't. It was like, what if it catches and we have no means of putting it out? And we found a hose and it had frozen solid, so we couldn't even use that. And Yeah, and it was so cold. I mean, it doesn't look it at all, obviously with all the fire around, but it was like whenever you're not on camera, send them to a hut and have the fire burning in the hut. And we also, poor Linda, I think Linda was the only makeup lady and hair on that day, I think, and she had to do all of our wigs and makeup. Like, we didn't have a space. We were outside. She had to do it by the light of a sort of thing, and all this is faked. You did, and again, some visual effects here, but we did try to do the effect of holding the torches in front of the camera, which worked quite well for most of the shots.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And
I think it's a very nice scene, and it's Andrew plays Dihail, did a really good delivery of that speech.
Tear on his cheek.
Yeah, and especially in -5.
Yeah.
it
was a hard shoot, that one, and then we had to send everyone home because I couldn't afford to put everyone up, and then they had to come all the way back for like 9 o'clock the next day, which didn't happen, of course, as you might imagine, and it snowed the next day, and that's for a scene later on we can mention.
So what did we shoot the next day?
The next day was actually
together
Chris asking, it was like Arathon asking for the proposal scene in the snow. That became the next day. I really liked this shot. It was a bit of a nightmare in the edit because we only did a 2-shot, and so finding the right take was hard. That was my fault for not getting enough coverage. Always get enough coverage.
Filmmakers out there.
Yeah, but I really like it. It's so filmic. We had the 35mm adapter on the camera, and it's just us. You've got the nice houses in the background. You've got that little bit of smoke coming from a fire in the background. And it's a really nice scene. It's actually quite heavily edited, isn't it? 'Cause there was a lot more, oh, woe is me, and a lot more, but I love you, but nobody actually paying attention to it. So we sort of made it a lot shorter, but it works. It says enough. That's the joy of it.
Yeah. And then he gets the chop.
Yes, it's the symbolism.
Back to the summer.
Yes, very first shoot. Yeah. This was in July 2008, and all of our wonderful extras who came along dedicated their time. Lots of them reenactors who brought their own costumes because we couldn't try and costume them, and yeah, fantastic. And we must mention Fang, which is the deer that's coming in now.
Yeah.
Fang.
He played it so well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a dead deer.
We must mention that we did not kill Fang.
Kill was already.
Basically,
Fang was already there.
When Philippa showed up on the morning of this shoot, she mentioned that she'd seen a dead deer on the side of the road that had been obviously hit by a car, and of course lots of us all went, really? Ooh, it's interesting, and some of the guys went out and picked up, and we nicknamed him Fang. That was a proposal at one point to actually feast on Fang, but he'd been hit a little too badly. But we nicknamed him Fang because he'd lost his little muntjac deer and he'd lost one of his teeth, so he just had one little fang. And yes, he lost his life, but he served a great purpose for us.
Absolutely.
And he's immortalised on camera.
Now it's all getting into where it starts becoming a little bit more serious.
Yes, and lots of different edits all mixed together there, isn't it? Oh, and our CGI shots, which I know are obvious, but we struggle.
I think they look great.
They look alright. It's meant to be looking out over the burning villages of his people. And this was almost one of the last shoots. This was.
That's
the
right.
The last main shoot. This was trying to get some little courting scenes, shot by me, I think. I think I was behind camera for some of this.
Probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing to mention as well, that it's not every scene that's got a different camera person or a different sound person, but there's so many great people working on it.
Yeah.
And for various shoots, it would be a different sort of group of people, and yet it could. I mean, what I really like about it is it has come together, even though there are different styles of filming and even different cameras.
Yeah, different cameras. I think it was like a Sony Z1 FX1 camera and a Panasonic sort of HD camera.
Don't forget your snacks.
So yeah, 2 different cameras and lots of them. About 8 different people behind camera at different times. And yeah, so they it was really cool that we managed in the edit to link them up. Everyone sort of managed to keep to the same sort of style, and although sometimes we had that 35mm adapter and sometimes we didn't, like we didn't on this shoot, so we tried to do something in the edit where we just blurred the background a little bit. The head in the background, I don't know if anyone ever notices it, but I like pointing it out because it's really good. That's a little matte painting. This was our 2-man shoot.
Yeah.
In the worst conditions for 20 years, never go out thing, and we decided to ignore all warnings.
We'd already sort of packed up the car the night before, and then when we headed off, all we heard on the radio was, do not drive anywhere unless it's absolutely vital to do so.
Unless you've already packed your car.
Yeah.
Unless, if you're packed in and
If
you're going
you're
out
making a
filming,
movie.
it's okay.
Yeah, if you're
But
making
it was like it was actually addressing you. Listen,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
two,
You
not
two.
driving the car, son.
You're the
What are
only
you
people
doing?
on the road.
But as you can see, we got some absolutely cracking shots
Yep.
because all of a sudden, like, we had snow.
Headed out to North Wales and shot various things, but this stuff actually is when we were coming home. We went to Epping Forest, and then we're back in North Wales here for this. Some really epic locations that we literally just were driving past and went, oh, that looks interesting, pull over, and found some great little places.
There is a shot coming up of me walking up this hill, and actually when we filmed it, now it looks, when it's coming up, I pointed out, it looks like we are in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It's like thousands of miles from civilization, and when you hear the camera sound, like the actual sound that was recorded, you can hear cars in the background, and actually at
The
one
M4 just behind
yeah,
you.
and at one point there was a car going. So
This random man in a wig
yeah.
and a cloak is walking around in the snow, slipping
that's-
over, falling over in the snow. If I
That's the
remember rightly.
magic of filmmaking.
Yes. Yep. Back in July.
I think that is probably worth mentioning West Stowe.
Oh
near
yeah.
Bury St Edmunds. They were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Basically, there is a reconstructed Anglo-Saxon village out at West Stowe near Bury St Edmunds, and those guys have.
That's a shot. by the way.
That's right.
Imagine the cars.
And the guys at West Stowe were so supportive of us. I mean, I did the test shoot there back in like 2006, and then and they were so supportive then. And then they let us come back and do at least about 2 or more weeks of filming, and maybe even some weekends, like during the main shoot. And it was great fun working there. Even and they kept the place open to the public, so you'd have people walking around watching us do our thing. And this is another great location, as seen in BBC's Merlin and various other things. You will
Doctor
see
Who.
these caves, the Clearwell Caves. Doctor Who, in fact, Doctor Who were there the day before. Well, were there the week after us.
That's part of the Doctor Who set,
and
actually.
the little table is borrowed from Doctor Who. We gave it back. But yeah, and this was a late edition scene that you helped write.
Yeah, that's basically a scene we were doing the edit of the film and realising that it would be great to have a scene that explained a little bit more about what the orcs were actually up to.
Yeah.
So this scene sort of indicates that they're looking for these rings, they're not finding them, and the main orc Shaknar sort of telling them to redouble their efforts, really.
Yeah. So yeah, it was quite a hard day. I remember the orcs took a long time to get ready.
But look,
And it was
they
very
look
cold
great.
in there for everyone, but yeah, they look absolutely stunning. I mean, all the makeup people who worked on the normal makeup and the special effects makeup did such an amazing job every time, because the look of these sort of films is so key to how good they are.
So that was the thing that you guys didn't get to experience, the whole sort of whole prosthetics and stuff like
No.
that. We had the wigs, but these guys were like completely covered in
Yeah.
latex and makeup.
I mean, I had the head.
Oh,
You had the head
cast,
cast.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
As people
Oh, yeah.
hopefully have seen this film. No, it's fine. We're talking our way through it. If you haven't seen it, yeah. But yeah,
we
no,
can talk about
totally.
when we get closer to that.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
the
okay,
head cast
yeah.
is a great thing.
Talk about my head.
Oh, okay. People are asking questions. Yes, let's stop waffling randomly. Go for it.
I'll
You're
go
gonna go
knock
ask
down
questions.
some questions. Whoops.
We will answer some questions. I'm gonna.
You
eat
keep
snacks.
talking amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to
Waffling
say,
randomly.
the main villain, Shatner.
Yeah.
Played
Richard,
by
who was
Richard
meant to be
Roberts.
here today. I mean, he's really upset that he
Unfortunately,
didn't
he
make.
was trapped in Cornwall.
He was trapped
Trapped,
in
yeah.
Cornwall. He was going to be here, and I'm sure he's wishing us all the best. And I don't know if he's going to randomly suddenly turn up later on, but
But yeah,
In full
he
costume.
was a great main villain.
he would. You know, Richard, he would turn up.
Oh,
Yeah.
In fact,
yeah.
his mask I think is around somewhere.
He walked around Rincon in the
He
year
did.
we went in
Yes,
full
yeah.
costume.
We went to a convention in Germany, and
Yeah.
he dressed himself up
Yeah.
to walk around all day in costume.
This was a late.
Dedication.
That was a late shoot, wasn't it?
This was a double shoot to a certain degree. The stuff of the shots of us, this was all shot different days. So this part of the two of them was shot on a certain time. And in fact, yeah, this whole sort of sequence was a bit of a nightmare shoot in a sense. So we shot the opening bit, and then we ended up having to reshoot that because when we had to reshoot the end of it because we had lighting problems. The light faded, so we had to do a reshoot of it. And then we couldn't find the costume that Beth had worn in the first version, so we had to reshoot the beginning as well because we had to change her costume because she was wearing this one's a sort of dress, but the first time we shot it, it was like trousers and a little tunic thing. So yeah, so we shot it a couple of times.
Every time.
But
Just for safekeeping.
but it's nice. I like it, and it's sort of it's sort of interesting again, jumping from like the 35mm adapter here, and then when me and Chris walk round the corner in a second, we jump to a completely different filming day. Literally only 4 people on set. My Linda, again, makeup artist, had to do boom as well as makeup, and then Ash was doing camera on the shoot that's about to come up now. We have questions.
We have a few questions. First of all, about the wigs. Where did they come from?
Okay, I shouldn't have put the pressure on my mouth, really, should I? By the way, I want to say thank you for asking questions. Please ask questions. You can tweet me at Actors at Work.
Do we know who that question came from?
Yeah, do we know who it came from? We should find out.
I'll come back to you on that
We
one.
will find out. We will name you. But yes, thank you for asking questions. The wigs came from, most of them anyway, came from China, the ones we bought. I physically bought wigs like the one I'm wearing, the one Beth was wearing, the original one we bought for you, which is a whole other story. And your wigs were
yours
bought.
were great.
So we purchased them from China for a relatively low price wig wise. And because I wanted to get proper wigs, so these are proper lace fronted wigs, real hair, so you can do what you want with them basically. Whereas the wig you're wearing and a couple of the other wigs were hired from a place called Wig Specialities down in London, who helped us out for the test shoot as well. And when we had an issue with your bought wig, we ended up using a wig we had hired as a backup, and it turned out that was the same wig that you wore in the test shoot.
Yeah.
Which was kind of weird and also was
great.
brilliant, yeah, because we got to use a tiny shot later on from the test shoot so that we could show little Luke as Aragorn growing up, which was really cool.
Just before we continue, maybe just for people who've sort of just come on online the last 10 minutes, just first of all, hi to all you guys, and if you can just explain what we're kind of doing.
Okay, yeah, of course.
What are we
So
doing?
hello to anyone who's just recently joined us. We are doing a live commentary on my previous film, Born of Hope, which is the Lord of the Rings prequel film, and we are cast members and producer-director of Born of Hope. I haven't actually, I mean, I'm sure people might know, but I introduced you guys, but not who you were playing, so maybe you should just say.
So I was playing Halbrand, which is Arathorn's right-hand man.
Arathorn's
On his right hand. See, I'm
General.
there again. You know, all those
There
years
we are.
later, I'm still there. Can't get rid of me.
No, he keeps going. And I'm playing Arathorn, Aragon's dad.
And you're Christopher Dane.
And I'm Christopher Dane,
People don't know.
yes.
And how we call it. I'm Kate Madison, and I produce and directed and various other things, but I'm also playing the role of Elgarain in the movie, who is Ranger Chick. I don't know why I added that.
I don't remember that line in the movie.
You should have had that line.
I'm Ranger Chick. That's the Power Rangers style.
And I'm Danny George, and I play Deer Haborn. And I thought I was your right hand man.
Oh
No.
What?
Left hand. What?
Yeah, left hand. That works.
No,
right?
I'm one of the other rangers.
Part of the love
You had
triangle.
your eyes on the ladies.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Not a proper ranger.
Oh.
Cool. And after,
I think I'm the younger ranger. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like
I think we're basically the young
I'm like-
ones of the pack.
yeah,
ranger
we were the older
development.
ones. Wiser guys.
Wise.
And after this commentary at 9:30.
Yeah, and well, hopefully, depending on how late we started, but hopefully around at 9:30 we are going live with our brand new project. Basically, I have a brand new show called Ren, which is a new series. So we are going to be launching our Kickstarter for the project at 9:30 each night. So hang around and come along, because we're going to be doing some cool giveaways. We're going to sign some pictures for you guys. We've got various things that we can give away for our first few pledges. So yeah, check that out, definitely.
Cool. And back to the questions. First of all, guys, say hi to Laura.
Hi Laura!
Hello.
Hey, which camera are we looking at, by the way?
That one.
Oh, that
one.
Okay.
Hi.
You should have told us.
I've been
We're up
looking
there.
at
I was
it.
looking
Oh.
there. We're up there.
Oh no, we're up there.
Laura asked if
I love
any of the Lord of the Rings cast members have seen Born of Hope.
Okay. Slightly hard question to answer to a certain degree, because there might be ones that I don't know about. Everyone always asks about Peter Jackson, I have to say, and I can't tell you. I'd be surprised if he didn't know about it, but whether he's watched it or not, I don't know. He's never said anything to me. Not
So
that
if you know him,
yeah, Peter, if you're watching this, I'd love to know what you think of the movie. Cast member wise, let me think. I have briefly at a convention met Sean Astin and told him about it. He hadn't seen it, so whether he then went and watched it, I don't know. I managed to talk briefly as well to Andy Serkis, who has seen bits of it. I'm not sure if he's seen the full film, but our wonderful hill troll maker Paul Smith has worked with Andy at the Imaginarium, and so there might be that he's watched it. Don't know. Who else do I know who might have watched it? Not that I know them.
Well,
Who have I talked to and asked?
The guys we saw at Rincon. I don't
our
know
friend
if
from
they would have.
John. We
Check
met
New
John.
Zealand.
Yes. Oh, now I'm trying to remember who. Oh, now you.
we can come back to that later. Let's get back to
There's
the
yeah,
commentary.
we should probably comment. But
And
yeah,
we'll have some more
some
questions
have,
later.
some haven't. Yes. Okay, more questions later. This is the scene that followed the pyre scene, and it snowed and took us completely by surprise.
Yeah, it wasn't any set dressing there. With the
No. I mean, it actually snowed a lot more, and because we were waiting for people to come back after having like no sleep, we sort of got it as it's stripping away. But it looks really cool, and it gives a great look to it. And again, we managed to make it work for stuff that this is, because the changing seasons is so key to the film in a way to show the time passing. Having it snow was brilliant, and because we'd shot this first and then we shot the stuff in Wales,
Yeah.
we actually just threw in a little scene, which is the one following it, and shot that in Epping Forest when again we had snow, and thought, right, that's going to interlink it with like this scene, and then a bit more snow for the more winter, and we put a few cutaways in, and then spring with the wedding.
And there we have it.
Oh, okay.
The wedding.
It was before that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The hippie wedding.
The hippie
The
wedding.
hippie wedding.
With cornflakes being thrown all over.
Yeah, if in doubt. I mean, yeah, absolutely. The chickens loved the wedding because there was chickens
Have
walking
some
around.
breakfast.
I couldn't afford like real petals. I wanted like lovely real petals, and they're really expensive. And I found a cereal, like a sort of organic-y cereal thing, that had little flakes of sort of like kind of flakes in it and little red stuff in it, like flaky things. And mixed that with normal kind of cornflakes, other brands available. to create the petals that you see, and I think they work really well because they actually show up better on camera as well. And this was our interesting. We tried to do sort of Steadicam shots with this, and actually just before our first AD got in camera, but not many people spot him. But he's there trying to help direct things, and then whoa, I'm in camera. But yeah, the wedding scene was quite fun and very improvised in a way on the day. It was like, what shall we do? How many people have we got? How many people do we need to dress? And
Here comes the
Good skipping.
here's the
Oh yeah,
cornflakes.
there we go.
Yay!
Breakfast! But it works really well.
It works really well, and I love how we freeze on that shot and then go into the darker side of things. Yeah.
What, the honeymoon?
Yeah.
Or just marriage in general?
Marriage in general was it was
it's-
only a year, but it did 2
The
years.
thing is, it's all downhill from here. It's like really.
Yeah, that was definitely the turning point of the movie. Sort of, it's all get sort of happy, and then oh no.
Yeah, it is a movie about marriage and how things can go wrong when you introduce orcs into the equation.
Yeah.
It can sort of, it can mess things up a little bit.
I find adding orcs and hill trolls and things like that really screw things up.
To anything.
Yeah.
To anything, yeah.
I mean, it can be fun in a relationship, once in a while, but,
If you're into role play.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And here goes one of the sort of the best moments in the film because it's so unexpected.
Yeah, everyone's very surprised when we actually have a hill troll, and I'm so glad. This is Paul again, Paul Smith from Busty Kelp, who did this hill troll for us. I'd been debating over and over how to do the hill troll. Do we fake it? Do we have them just look at something? Do we build a sort of maquette puppet? What do we do? And discovered Paul, and I can't remember still how we discovered him, whether we discovered him, he discovered me, or what, but I found this wonderful video he'd done of a little wood imp or something, and it looked amazing, and I contacted him, I think, about it, and he was like really up for it. He designed this troll really quickly, if I remember, and did a little sort of made it dance, I think, and I was like, wow, this guy's awesome. And the poor guy was quite free at that time, and then of course it took me ages to actually get the live shoot done, and by that time he got really busy, but he stuck with it and he came along to the shoot with us, helped us plan how this thing was going to work, and then spent all this time making this amazing hill troll. It really is the sort of I don't know, it's some lots of people like that's the moment in a way where it's like, wow, okay, that took it to a whole other level. So very, very grateful to Paul for that. Did a great job.
I thought it was Danny without makeup.
I did volunteer.
I didn't want to say,
It's inspired by.
This is the very first. No, it's not quite. Is it the first? So it's the second shot of scene of the whole movie. This one, and then the next one is the first. Oh no, that's a lie because there's film-wise, but the very first one is actually a cut scene, which was Beth up a tree. Forced her up a tree and then cut it from the film. And if you notice, talking of wigs, if anyone's interested in a little fun fact, sort of slightly spoiler I suppose, is that the wig she's wearing, if you look closely at it and then look at her in any other scene, it's not the same wig. The wigs that were coming from China, the schedule was so tight that they literally turned up the second day of the shoot. So for the first day we were like, we had to make do, when we hired a wig for this shoot. And this next one as well, where you probably can see the wig a little better. It's a lot shorter, it's a lot dark, like browner, and so we sort of tried to pretend that it was a lot better. We were hoping that because it's an interior scene and because she's sort of sweating or it's nighttime or something, people wouldn't notice, and not many people seem to, so we get away with it. And because Dihyle wears a different wig as well in that pyre scene, he's wearing a different wig, and in the proposal scene, he's wearing a different wig. Oh, must talk about the baby. Little Bobble, as he was known, literally 2 weeks old at the time. I pounced on a poor friend who had literally only just given birth and went, do you want baby to be in a movie? And they came back the next day.
And now different baby.
And now different baby, because I forgot to shoot this when we had Bobble. And this baby was actually walking around Westow with his parents, just trying to have a normal day out. And we went, baby! And because basically this that scene was shot we shot it with a bundle, and then when we came back, that was in like November, and we came back in March, and we saw this baby walking around and pounced on its parents and said, would you mind, it'd be awesome if we could have the baby. And I think, I'm trying to remember, it was Joseph, I think the baby's name was Joseph, and so you cut between those scenes.
Yeah, and the thing that actually meant that you had to deliver that long speech with all the air of Isildur and all that sort of thing twice.
Yes.
Got my money's worth out.
First time to lots of people and second time to like nobody as well.
Yeah.
We're like, just do it now.
10
quick.
people are there.
Yeah.
That's my wife.
Yes, your apple eating scene.
My
I
apple.
do think it's amazing. This was like the last shoot, like the last thing we shot in our very first week of shooting in July, and I remember actually it being such a sort of like amazing and epic kind of week of like hardly any sleep and things, that when we finally finished shooting that, I went into the woods and started crying because I was just like, oh my god, you know. But it was amazing, and it was kind of scary doing that scene actually, because there was a lot of people involved, and then we seemed to just have a huge crowd like watching the whole thing. I think there was a lot of the other extras, but there was just loads of people from the public just watching. I remember feeling really intimidated shooting that scene. This was a nice scene to shoot.
Yeah.
Hot, if I remember rightly, because we had the fire right in front of us.
It was a fun scene to shoot. Anyway.
Well, you were drunk. I mean, clearly you play drunk.
Yeah.
There. You're like, I'm drunk.
And I was like listening to the story, and I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking,
Yeah, I love how you totally look
Yeah.
really annoyed and drunk. You're like, I'm just gonna drink because
Like,
I'm
why is
never
she
gonna get the
looking
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our wonderful twins, Matt and Sam, who are, as you can see, identical twins, and they came along to play our sons of Elrond, basically. This shot different times, again, just sort of flipping between different things. And this is quite a nice scene as well, that we go from some happy, we're just listening to a nice story, to, ooh, doom and gloom from the elves.
Oh, it's to spoil a party, don't they?
Yeah, they totally do. No fun, no, not allowed to have fun. And the poor guys, actually, this was quite a hard scene for them because I kept trying to light the fire. Like, as you can see there, that's real smoke coming from a not very well lit fire. And it just, we had the lights on and the doors shut and stuff, and the poor guy, their eyes were streaming, like, from all that smoke and stuff. So
I'd sort of forgotten about the amount of smoke that was in the film.
Yeah, if in doubt, throw smoke in there. It looks really great. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I've got a great blooper. I'm hoping that we've got a clip for it for later of our art department smoking everything else
Fanning
and stuff.
smoke.
Yeah. And that was another freezing cold night, if I remember rightly. And this, I suppose, this is interesting to a certain degree in the fact that when we did the shot of me outside of the hut, that shot, that's with like really big, like two really big sort of lights. I think they're big sort of 500 watt HMIs or something, like, and a silent generator, and cost loads of money or whatever. And then when we did this, we didn't have that. We couldn't afford to go and get them again. And you can see a difference. It was very hard to balance the light differences, but the other lights are just little red heads and things. So you can get away with relatively low cost stuff. This is your moment. This is Chris as an orc. He got
he defected to the other
Wallop.
team.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
He did. Yeah, he got so jealous of everyone dressing up as orcs. He was like bored of being a ranger, and he now wanted to be an orc. So it's like, and that was the very last thing we shot, like in late October, before we released the film.
Cool. A few questions.
Yes.
First of all, Jack asked about what is Ren about, and we will talk about that after this screening.
We will, yeah. At 9:30 when we go live, we will tell you a lot more about Ren.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then a quick question for you, and then I think you need it over on the technical side.
Me, okay.
Yes. So the question is from MaxPhoto78. If you could cast one Lord of the Rings actor, I suppose in Ren,
in Ren or
who
something.
would it be?
Oh man, you ask a hard question.
Good question.
Good question.
Gosh. Oh, my brain's trying to go through all the different characters and.
She's gonna say Orlando Bloom.
No, I'm not. Orlando's lovely, but I think I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think as well for what would match Ren. So at the moment, I'll ignore Ren. I'll think about an actor who I thought did a really good job. God, there's so many actors in it. My brain is saying Vigo. I think because he did such a great job in Lord of the Rings, and we do see him so little, and he does do such an amazing job. But I do think that in Lord of the Rings, he really, I don't know, it meshed really well with the look and everything, and I probably have to say that to a certain degree as well, because I clearly like the Dunedain and the Rangers and stuff. I mean, I was really fascinated when I read the books and about the Dunedain and when they weren't in the movies as well. And it's kind of one of the reasons why we ended up doing this story. So I think Vigo, whenever I think Lord of the Rings, Vigo does sort of take my thing.
Vigo.
Although Ian McKellen.
Only one.
No, it's only one.
Can I
It's
not?
only one.
Yeah, you can only have one.
Okay.
Go do your technical stuff. There isn't really anything to do. I just wanted to do it.
Yeah, but get a bit of room on the sofa.
Yeah.
Boys' night.
Yeah. Now we're coming up to one of your big scenes,
Okay.
where Kate's character, Elgarain, is trying to leave.
Yeah, with the horse.
With the horse, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can put it on Twitter's good. Depends where people are.
Look at that. Look at that. Look.
Yeah.
Then
What's
And that's
What's
epic,
up
isn't
there?
it?
What's up there?
Nothing.
So you can maybe put it on Ren and Access at work and.
So in this scene coming up,
Yeah.
Because those are
You-
really big.
did you do half of the scene
Yeah.
with the horse in?
It's fine.
and half
just,
without, or-
I'll send.
Yeah, I
you know,
think
whatever we'll try and answer them for
we
that
shot.
evening.
Yeah, we did half of the scene without the horse.
Yeah.
I mean, mainly because he threw a hissy fit. And,
Can't get into the details.
yeah,
bit
he's
like
a
you.
little bit of a
Yeah,
prima
yeah.
donna. He's been in a few productions. I think it's
It will be
Kickstarter.
mine because
But yeah, Kate.
it's-
Kate was more interested in the horse.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not talk more about that. A quick question that we can actually sort of individually answer,
You can
and
do
it is
an
from
face.
Helson
If it doesn't
Linser.
work,
I hope I said that right. And that is, which of the Lord of the Rings movies is your favourite? 1, 2, or 3, or The Hobbit? So how? One?
Yeah.
The reason being?
I love the whole team coming together, and particularly when they first meet Strider and the black.
So the setup. of
Yeah, the
whole thing
setup
is-
and all.
I'm
coming
coming
together.
back. You can't get rid of me that
Oh,
easily. I was just going to say, actually, one of the things, people are asking a lot of questions right now, and I know we're not managing to answer them because we're trying to do two different things. We have all night. We will get back to answer. Once this is over, we will be answering as many questions as we possibly can. So do keep asking them. We will get round to them. That's what I thought I'd say.
That's a good thing to say. Danny, favourite?
I
1, 2, or 3?
think I'd have to go with number one as well. I mean, not to copy your.
No, you copy
No,
me.
but mainly for the same reasons. The whole sort of fellowship coming together.
Yeah.
I mean, also I absolutely love the scene, the "Do Not Pass," you shall not pass scene.
Right.
I just think it's just brilliant.
So this, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not in this question.
Oh, can I not? Can I
Well,
not
you can
answer?
maybe.
Is this which of the three movies?
Which of
Yeah.
the 3? Yeah.
Or
1,
The
2, or
Hobbit.
3, or The Hobbit.
Okay. It is a bit of a hard one because the first one like really sets it all up, and I do really like that. But to a certain degree, I really like the last movie, The Return of the King,
Mhm.
because it gets so epic and it concludes all these stories and
Sam sort of,
yeah,
is suddenly a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the big thing and Eowyn and stuff and all those sort of things going on. So, but I mean, you kind of need the other movies to make that work. But
Yeah. I must admit, I'm with Kate on that.
That's
So
fine.
3. So it's a draw.
It's a draw.
between
So is
the
it that
first
nobody likes
and the
We
third.
need
What's that?
someone to cast
What?
the deciding vote.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh. Alec?
is it really one movie though? I mean, I know obviously they had to split it into 3 films, but if you sort of see it as a single entity, as a single body, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it works as a whole totally, and
Cool.
they're all great movies. Buy the extended edition and watch them all in one go. That's what I've done.
I think
Back to the movie. Sorry, back to our movie.
Back to
As it's
Bournemouth.
getting dramatic now, I'm running and everything.
So that means action.
We missed the
Yeah.
kiss. I missed the kiss scene. And
Yeah.
the horse.
Yeah.
Sorry. The
Kissing the
horse
horse.
was kissing the
Kissing the
horse.
horse.
Yeah.
It's not on camera though.
That's on the deleted scene.
But yeah, that was Waterloo. Louis, who played. Leo. What? Waterloo. Louis, who played our horse, or was our horse, playing our. Ooh,
Yeah.
I've been
Let's
drinking
Let's
clearly.
get back to this.
Okay. I'm trying to credit people.
It's a horse.
Yeah, but
Horses have names
yeah, they
as
have
well.
Horses have
owners and
feelings.
things.
Yes.
Joe have,
See,
yeah.
I don't know why everyone's panicking so much. I've obviously killed all of the orcs
Clearly.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
And then gone off on your own. You're like,
I'm like,
I'm off to Rio.
I've like killed them all.
yes.
Well, not quite.
Well,
Yeah.
well, it's quite an interesting practice in a way of how to do a dramatic fight sort of thing, or because I was doing things. You kind of think you have to do things very realistically, and so like here we got everyone running again, but we get everyone running and then they all vanish. But actually, when you watch movies, people are running all over the place, and when actually they would have just hidden and it would be over. And actually, I sort of watched this end sequence a lot, and there's not enough action. There's not enough people running and screaming and thing, and because everyone runs at the beginning and then dead, and it's like, so.
Well, it kind of makes sense. As
It
in,
makes sense.
And all the rangers lined up to meet the orcs and everybody else taking cover.
Well,
so,
it
does make sense.
It makes sense logically,
you're right,
but
so
as
dramatically.
a dramatic film action
Device.
thing, yeah, you just fill the screen with people. I mean, I've done extra work, and you're constantly walking back and forth and filling the screen and stuff. So it gets all dramatic here, and it's amazing what we managed to do with like maybe sort of 15 rangers and 15 orcs, if that.
Look at that team.
It's good teamwork.
I do like
just
that little
good.
tag team moment. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have done a high five.
But there's
at the end.
Dags in the background. Dags getting
Dagmar.
his moment. And look, our orcs are back again. the same ones. And we dressed a lot of people for this little shot. I tried to just put anyone in a helmet, really. And here is Lewis, the fight director for this end section stuff.
Without makeup.
Yeah.
What? There's your head.
Your head.
What?
Yeah, you're dead.
Oh, no!
that's
I know that.
You don't need,
Me.
you don't need to comment on the rest of this clearly now. Oh.
Yeah,
But yeah,
sure,
that was
yeah.
where you had to have your head cast to get the head.
We had a good game of football though.
Yeah.
Later.
There were a few shots taken with my head in various positions.
I'm sure.
Found
I'm
the
sure there's
audience.
something
I have
on
no
the
idea. But I still have the head. It is in a box, lovingly written. I think there's a thing on it, a warning on it, so that you don't not know what it is when you open it. It's sort of a bit in your face, quite
That's
literally.
Danny's head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny's head.
What I like about this fight is that it's pieced together of like 20, maybe 30 little segments
Yeah.
to make up this fight, and it actually
All shots
I think it really
separate.
works so well.
Yeah, it was like, okay, now you guys, we're going to do a little bit with you, and all our extras, all our reenactors, all our fight guys, they sort of, we sent them off almost to do little sequences to teach, to practice something, and then we'd go through it, and then we'd go shoot each little bit, and then put it all together in the edit. Totally.
So who was killed?
What do you mean?
Like,
Pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
It's a sad story.
Yeah.
Who was killed where?
Out of the Rangers, out of our posse.
Well, Dan gets killed later, but we don't, like, he's one of our fight
Howard
guys
survives.
who plays various things.
And was that Rat who was killed at some point?
Well, he was
Rat gets
punched,
punched in the face.
actually.
Yeah.
And and I get punched in the face.
Yeah, we all get battered a little bit. It's meant to be dramatic. See, she's shocked. Wonderful, Beth.
You look at the angle from when Lewis, who plays Gorgonog, comes in. I've had a lot of people commenting on how tall he must have been. A lot of people saying he must be like almost 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
And he's I think he's the same height as me. But just that camera angle makes him look absolutely enormous.
Yeah. Giant.
Yeah. And it works extremely well.
Yeah.
Just that low angle just makes him look extremely
Looks
tall.
the dramatic hero moment where he's not quite dead.
But now he is.
Yeah. And if we had the budget, his head would have come off.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the budget, so we put a little bit of blood, VFX blood, to do that. So
it was in the
you
script.
Just caught him. It was it was a paper cut to the forehead, really, but it was enough. Whereas me, yeah. Oh.
What?
See.
Whoops.
What? Spoiler alert.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
the
it
only
was.
one.
Spoiler
It was a
alert.
paper cut. It's just that.
Yeah.
It took a
Just
while.
a scratch. Yeah. But yeah, dramatic death scene, and again flipping around in time where I'm trying to think when we did different things, but the death scene, this bit was shot differently to the bit where I just fell down and stuff like that, and I always forget as well that Beth's angle for this her shot is not me lying down. I think it's you, or
it was 3 different people.
it was 3.
pretending
You
to
were
be
lying down at
Kate.
one point. Playing
Yeah,
me.
I was probably tired.
So poor Beth, I was literally getting my wig attached, I think, while trying to direct and sort stuff out, but I was not lying dead for her. It was it was you and Kay and various other people, I think.
Yeah.
I might have been lying down for that bit, I think, but yeah. And I remember doing this death scene, and I'd been so worried about it in advance, and going, oh my god, should I leave my eyes open? Can I do that? Oh my god! And then suddenly we were shooting it, and I was like, I haven't made a decision. I better just do it, you know. And I don't think
Thank God you didn't do that and make that sound.
Well, we cut that scene, you know. But and what I suppose we should say as well, what's interesting about the film is most of the sound is actually ADR'd, which is additional dialogue recording. We did all of the voices after filming in post-production. Mostly because there was some times when we had to, because the sound wasn't great, because of generators or whatever. Once we started, Enos, our sound designer, putting it all together, he was like, oh, but now we've ADR'd that bit, that sounds nicer than this bit. Maybe we should ADR that bit. Oh, but now it's nicer than that bit. And it was just like we ended up doing scene after scene. And so this scene, I'm ADRing this scene. So I had to, in a booth, I think here in this flat, I had to try and go back to the death scene and get the right breathing and the right voice and stuff, and then match it to the thing. It's quite difficult to do, but quite fun. I can't remember if we've actually got any footage from like the fight stuff. Again, all the fight stuff. There's so many and we all did that.
A bit of that.
Yeah. So you're in the studio watching and then trying to do the sort of which is really bizarre to do, but quite good for behind the scenes.
Heroic speech. Getting the troops ready.
Yeah, including our art department people. As Nick is in there, and various people. All our Vikings of Middle England are all there.
We should definitely mention the
Our makeup
Vikings because they were great.
I hope some of you guys might be watching. Hello guys, nice to see you again.
Hope you're all well.
Yeah, they Vikings of Middle England, some of those guys like Dags and Orc and Big Mike and stuff were such troopers. They came for almost every shoot that we needed them for. They were there, and they came they came hours out of their way. They're up in Leicester. They'd come down to West Stowe. They'd come down to Epping Forest. Some of them, did anyone come? No one came to, I think, to Wales, but all over the place.
Yeah, they were absolutely.
I mean, and they became real sort of characters in the movie. I mean, they are so cute.
You actually get, now we get into the sort of the end fight, you actually get a lot of not close-ups, but you get a look at the guys.
Yeah.
Doing a bit of fighting.
Yeah, they all had their little moment in the previous fight, and then again they were all there. There's Orc and Dax and Big Mike, and we've also got John in this next fight. I don't know how well you see him. I think he's in there. Is John from Norton Armories, who supplied all of our like helmets and metal and fake sort of rubber armor. And in fact, this shot as well, that's Sam, but that's not Matt, the elf in the background, because Matt was working on other things. So we had a double, which you can almost see sometimes that it's not. They're not quite identical.
These are all, most of them, the Vikings coming in.
And there's John.
There's
John from
in the
Norton.
foreground. Orc over there.
Orc,
dispatching an orc.
An orc dispatching an orc.
You don't hear that.
And here you are.
Oh,
this is your moment. This is your big fight.
And this is one of your cloak
swinging
round moments. And this was quite a tough fight for you in a way.
Yeah, a bit of a grapple.
It's very grapply, and that orc is not a guy. If you're wondering,
She was tough.
She was
She was
real
tough.
tough.
Sam is tough.
The toughest of the orcs.
And she was. She took a liking to you.
Oh, great. Oh, he had a hug. Yeah, I mean, I have to say, lots of our orcs, our fighting orcs, a hell of a lot of them are females. It's
that one.
Yeah, that
Killing
one.
that
In
one.
fact, most of these
Kill
in the
that
end, I think,
Yeah,
are.
but they're tough.
Very tough.
Very, very tough guys, and brilliant to, and again, really dedicated to coming along and enduring hours of freaking makeup and costumes and cold weather and everything like that, to do this film, and very, very, very grateful. That's Mina. Yeah. So, yeah, and again, you can't notice it, but there are stuff. Some of this fight is in absolutely torrential rain. I remember it was quite a tough one for you.
Yeah, it was hard.
And that's Caitlin, the clown orc. I do love that orc. It's such a great look.
Rule number 1 for a ranger:
Yeah.
don't throw your sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, missed that vital little bit of information there. Just because you weren't there.
You didn't
Yeah.
go.
Where
to
did
that
you
training.
go?
I was busy.
Where did you?
You ran
Yeah.
out ahead.
Yeah, right hand man.
Look what happens.
Well, you.
Look what happens.
Oh,
It will go wandering off.
yeah, it's a sad ending. If anyone hasn't seen this movie, I hope you
Okay.
get to watch it without us talking through it.
We get a lot of comments on YouTube, sort of people sort of saying, "Oh, it's just like Boromir." The
What's
death
the
there,
Boromir?
and it's actually, and it is true. It is a tribute to Boromir, but what is different is the part coming up here, where you think, "Oh, it's like Boromir. He's going to get up again. He's going to kill all the orcs."
Yeah. And he doesn't.
But no.
I mean, that was one of the things. The thing about Boromir is he gets shot 3 times and he's up. I mean, he gets shot in the book, I think, many more than that, and he's up and he's fighting and stuff. And the one thing we wanted to do with this, we thought, well, should he have the hero moment? And we thought, no, it should be really nice if you think he's going to do that hero moment of getting up, and then it's like, no, I'm mortal like anyone else. I can't, and so we add a little bit of a hero moment.
But you've also fitted in with Tolkien's background that his death was supposed to be
by an arrow in the eye,
Yeah.
which is this arrow in this eye right now. But
Yeah.
I mean, basically, some people have said, oh, but I thought he was meant to die by an arrow in the eye, and he gets shot in the chest. And that's, I mean, it basically came down to a sort of filmmaking, sort of visual, what's the word, a style, basically. We're sort of deciding how can you do this in the film. And my worry was that if we rigged up this whole arrow in the eye thing, and you saw the arrow in the eye, it would look comical. I was really worried about this, this arrow sort of swinging around all over the place. And I was like, I can't have this death of this main character comical. And actually, I think you came up with a solution of saying, what if, he gets shot a few times and then Shatner grabs the arrow and stabs him. So essentially, it's the arrow in the eye that kills him. You can just walk in front of the camera,
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely stick.
Well, I think he's being,
Yeah.
he's dying, and that's the sort of fatal shot. So, yeah, basically. And you having to do your death scene again in the cold.
Yeah.
It's not easy, just like, and I do think this is quite an amazing scene generally, especially as you had to work. Well, we all had to work with little Luke, who was like 4 and a bit, if that.
Yeah, bless him. Bless him.
And it's not easy working with kids, trying to sort of. And this scene was sort of we did it in the edit because actually that moment was meant to be after you died, and I like the way we changed it because originally it was like you die and then he's doing the whole daddy get up, and then he pulls the ring off by mistake, sort of falls over and has the ring in his hand, but getting that shot was really difficult to do, and in the end it worked really well with the sort of as if you're giving it to him before you pass away.
Passing on the chieftain's ring.
Yeah, but trying to, you sort of dying with your eyes open, Beth bawling her eyes out, and everyone else sort of around, and then like the shots of Luke would have only a few, but that's all you need. You sort of.
This shot coming up with Luke now is just one of the best ones, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
But
So
it was.
did Luke just take the ring without?
No, I think I said but we didn't get the
But
pulling.
This shot is just really good.
Yeah.
He was looking at because Beth was bawling her eyes out, so he was like, "What?" But like trying to get some of those shots, I was like, "Oh, Luke, look, I think you were just playing dead," and Beth bawling her eyes out, and me speaking the most silly things in the world, going, "Oh, wait, look in his ear. I think there's a worm in his ear," trying to get him to sort of look over. I sort of wanted, look over and. All this stuff.
The best one from that was that Kate asked Luke, look at Chris. What colour is his eye? And he went red.
With all the blood. And then it's like
Brilliant.
trying to get this like,
Brilliant.
Look at your father, and it's like red. But 4-year-old, what do you do? But it's brilliant. It's great.
He must have just thought,
What on
Well,
earth?
it must. I mean,
Yeah.
crazy things, and sort of live and learn sort of how to direct kids, and I'm still sort of learning how to do it. But yeah, good fun.
So coming up to the end.
We are very near the end now. So this is leaving, like the disbanding of Towerdale. Again, to sort of bring us back to the fact that in Return of the King, Halbarad, who is featured in the movie, goes and finds the Rangers and they're scattered. So I was like, well, we wanted to base them somewhere, so we invented this village of Towerdale. But at the end of the movie, I wanted to then spread them out again. So because of the death of you and things and the orcs still hunting us, it was a great way to just, in the voiceover really, put in that they disbanded the village and everyone scattered, which meant that we sort of tied in, hopefully, with the timelines and with the canon of Tolkien. And this is, I always think this looks green screened, and yet it wasn't. We were actually doing very guerrilla filmmaking in a sort of graveyard thing, in a churchyard, and we just sort of dressed this little monument thing as if it was Rivendell sort of thing. And then we have a little bit of Elven, which you can't hear obviously now, but if you've watched the movie, you'll hear a little bit of Elven, which we don't translate deliberately because it's not from this moment in time, so that's why, but also it's there for the fans who know it. Gilrime saying, "I gave hope to the Dunedain, I've kept no hope for myself." And I really liked that line. I wanted to put it in somehow, but in our timeline officially that doesn't get said until Arathorn is like 50 or something, or older, but it was a really nice thing to put in. And then we have credits and the beautiful pictures to match up with the Return of the King credits as well.
Yep.
And we should really watch the entire credits, and if you've watched the movie, please do watch all the credits, because there are so many people involved who gave all their time for free. And of course, at the end of the credits, all of the people who helped make the film and donated to the project. We were hobbits and elves and wizards and things.
Yeah.
So.
And what we can say is that later on, John Glue, who wrote and recorded the song, is going to come here and do it live.
He will be here very soon, really. So this song, Bloodline of the Kings. Yeah.
It's a nice
surprise for you.
Yeah. John's going to come perform it live, which is really cool. So yeah, you get to hear, and I love that song, and I think a lot of other people do, and it really does work so well for the film. So that's very cool that he's coming, and he might even perform some of his own original stuff as well to keep us amused throughout the evening as we go in. So yeah, okay. While the credits are rolling, because we've got about 10-ish minutes before we go live on our Kickstarter, so we should probably start talking a little bit about that. But we should start answering some questions as well. But what I wanted just to remind you, anyone who's watching who hasn't been watching from the start, at 9:30 in about 10 minutes we will be going live with the Ren Kickstarter, and Ren is my new fantasy series. To help promote that and get you guys pledging even £1, we will be signing photographs and things and giving away those for the first pledges. So anyone who pledges during this live feed will get signed photographs, but there are other things as well. We have some signed scripts and various things, so
a few surprises.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Should we give the guys a bit of a break, and then you can talk a little bit about what a Kickstarter is for those people who don't know.
Yeah, do you guys want a break?
Yeah.
Go grab a drink, and we should see if there's any
I'll
questions.
get some questions.
Yeah.
We'll be
So
back. We'll be back.
yeah, definitely. Can't escape that quickly easily. I should probably talk. Right, well, I'm the only one on camera. Thank you guys for watching that. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something new. It's always fun to get together. We haven't actually got together for a while and seen the film again, so it's kind of cool to watch it again. And it is often the case that you don't realise, you sort of forget. I forget how it was made to a certain degree. You sort of forget that, that was like 3 different days on different things, and I've got some behind the scenes videos and things to show later on which breaks down a few of these things for you, so that's going to be cool. I've also got a few things you can kind of see some of our sort of set dressing here is bits and pieces from Born of Hope, and I also have like stuff like this. I shouldn't wander off camera. Like this. We've got various sort of props and costumes and bits and pieces that we can kind of show you guys, and show you kind of why it's so important to get the look right and stuff, and why in a way we're doing this whole event and why we're doing the Kickstarter for the new series is that without a good budget it's so difficult to do. As you probably all know how much Lord of the Rings costs to make, and we're never going to get that sort of money for a small web series, but having a budget to play with so that you can just have material costs of things like prosthetics or swords and weaponry or costumes and things like that, it goes a long way, and we can make a great production from it. So how are we doing? Any questions over there? Because I'm kind of waffling here.
Yes. I have a few questions. And this is actually related to the Kickstarter thing.
Okay.
Because Virtual Ray asks, is it possible to do Lord of the Rings prequels in the future with Kickstarter funding?
Okay, I see.
Bit of a minefield question.
I couldn't particularly say. Personally, myself, I am not, you can never say never, but I'm pretty sure I'm never going to really do another Lord of the Rings film, in the sense of one that's copyrighted and things like that. Born of Hope was an unlicensed film, so officially, the rights are owned by other people, and out of their goodwill, we are able to show it for free and things like that. But it's a difficult thing to put together, and personally, I think there is a wealth of stories in Tolkien, and I would love to do more. I also love the challenge of doing something original. So definitely Tolkien inspired and all that sort of stuff, but not officially a Lord of the Rings thing. When it comes to doing a Lord of the Rings film on Kickstarter, I don't know how that would be legally necessarily. it essentially is still a fan film and essentially still has the same problems of the copyright. So I'm not going to say that you can do that. Fan films, I think, have raised money on Kickstarter and various other crowdfunding sites. But it is a personal choice, like any other. You know, if you're going to do a fan film, wherever you raise the money or put in your own. But I expect you have to be slightly more careful because it's very public when you do it on Kickstarter. And again, if you're doing it before you start or at the end and all that sort of stuff. So.
But if New Line or whatever, Warner Brothers came around and said, do you fancy directing a Lord of the Rings film that's fully licensed and all that?
If I got fully licensed to make another Lord of the Rings or Tolkien film, I would totally be up for that. That would be great.
So there's a little hint.
Yeah, you know.
Then we got a question from C4 Dark Main, who thinks I look a little bit like Hugh Dennis. You're not the first one.
No.
And
I remember someone else.
He asked, in the Lord of the Rings, the films, would you have liked to see the burning of the Shire at the end?
This is a hard one because to a certain degree, yes, because I would love to see all of the different moments really from the film. I do to a certain degree understand though why Peter Jackson left it out. I think when it comes to making a film out of a book that is so huge in a way with so much going on that you have to decide, and I know this is what he did really, that you have to decide what your story is, and the story was getting that ring to Mordor and dropping it. It was Frodo's story, and I think and there, as we all know, there's a lot of endings to the Lord of the Rings movies as it is, to then kind of add sort of like to go, and it's all over, oh it's not, here's another little ending. I think that would have sort of killed the momentum of the film and stuff. So whereas it's often frustrating when things get changed, when you've read a book and you're like waiting for that moment, like I was waiting for the Grey Company to turn up and they didn't. But again, it's like, well, it's sort of incidental to the overall story, it's not as important, and the story was Aragorn's story and not this bringing of this banner, and then, you know, because they all get killed, it doesn't take us anywhere, so we have to leave it out. I always say that a movie is a trailer to the book, and they're not really the same. It's a glimpse at what the sort of story it is, but, you know, read the books for all the great juicy details.
I think, yeah, you can obviously talk at length about adaptation, but
yeah.
I think what people really have to understand that when Jackson did the films, it is an adaptation, and therefore you have to pick a certain storyline and embellish that storyline to make it work.
I'm sure someone could always make a fan film just of
of the Grey Company, maybe, or
burning of the Shire, and things like that. So, you know, I don't want to encourage fan films really, but you know, if they didn't do it, you could always do it, I suppose, even if you don't call it that. So there you go.
And just to round off the whole Born of Hope thing.
Yeah.
And I think I could probably answer this one.
Go on then.
Answer this one is, how much time did the edit take?
Yeah, because you did a lot of the editing.
I did most of the editing.
And then I tweaked.
Yeah. I think we had sort of a working assembly, basically.
I'm going to get a drink.
Yeah, do that. And that kind of took about a month, maybe a month and a half, to kind of just assemble the whole story according to the script with all the stuff we had. And then what happened was that we realized that we had certain bits that were actually missing. So we wrote a few more scenes, had a bit more filming. So we were actually actively filming while we were editing as well. Which was kind of a great thing, because you're sitting there, you're doing the edit, and you realise, well, it would just be great if we could just have a little scene, like the scene when I actually dressed up as an orc, as you've probably seen in the film, where Shaknar, the main orc, is told, we know where the heir of Isildur is. We were quite happy with the sequence that we had, but thought, it would just be great to get a sense of the fact that the orcs are actually sort of getting there. They've caught on to the fact that he is in this village and they're coming. So it just gives it a bit more edge and a bit more danger. I can see on our clock up there that we've probably got about 3 or 4 minutes to the point where we're going to actually activate the Kickstarter campaign for Kate Madison's new project, which is a web series called Ren. So for those of you guys who've just sort of tuned in to this live feed, it's not, I'm not Kate Madison. She's up talking to a couple of the other guys who are in the film and getting a bit of a drink. But what is going to happen now is that she is going to make the website.
Oh gosh!
The Kickstarter website
Exciting.
is going live in about 2 minutes.
Yes.
Time. And I don't actually know how that's going to work. Are you going to go over there?
I think I probably need to go over to our little control center.
Okay.
And I think we are going to try and bring up the website on the screen for you guys, so you can see me hit live or launch. Apparently then it goes to a second page and then I have to say yes, no, I do want to do this, and then we go live.
Just in case.
And we'll, as soon as we can, I will tweet or whatever the link as well, because until it goes live I don't really have a link to show you, but we will get that to you very, very shortly. So I will go over there. Do you want to grab some of these guys and ask some questions about other things?
Yeah, absolutely. You go there.
Ready?
It might take a few minutes to get all of that sorted out. So, yeah, right hand man and left hand man, come in.
So, shall I stay on your right hand side?
No, you sit in the middle. You sit in the middle. You've moved up in the world.
Yeah, well, you're the only one who survives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually
jammy.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Kate to do the sequel, right?
That's where you take over the whole of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
But just to because this sort of evening is really sort of celebrating old work and new work. So we've seen Born of Hope and stuff like that. You guys were obviously in it. And now we're sort of moving on to the new project, which is Ren. But it is very much sort of Lord of the Rings inspired. But trying to create a web series that's got certain elements, definitely the same sort of feel and look of it. So maybe if we talk a little bit about what, because you guys are professional actors, acting in contemporary films and all that sort of, what's sort of the main difference between doing a fantasy film like Born of Hope and hopefully Ren, as opposed to doing modern stuff?
Do you want to take that first? Or me?
Well, certainly in terms of sort of my experience, if we're going to just talk about Born of Hope, the way we shot Born of Hope, the way the project came together, was just completely and utterly, completely unique. I mean, in terms of sort of what we actually did, which was to go and actually camp near Westow Village, and basically sort of be around a campfire in the night and be camping, which was sort of very Lord of the Rings anyway, and then getting up in the morning, trying to wash, get into costumes, and then shoot all day. I mean, it was just a completely unique, fantastic experience to do something like that. Whereas I think, probably for all of us, as we know, with other projects, you turn up on set and you shoot, and then you go home. I mean, we were sort of we were like we were like one sort of whole
sort of a little
project.
Really,
yeah.
You sort of,
Exactly.
you get closer together when you're standing there freezing in the morning
Totally.
trying to get your breakfast.
Totally, yeah. and after sort of we lost light in the evenings, we sort of just had there's so many of us because all of the Viking guys were with us as well.
The crew was still there. Yeah.
And all the crew were there, and so we just we sat around and we sort of made each other laugh and drank a few beers, and it was a really fantastic thing to do. And you don't really get that in other projects you might undertake.
Well, we were really lucky that week or so filming in July with the weather and camping. But I think it did add something for rangers who are kind of maybe going off and their ranger stuff and living rough and having to camp out with their little roll-up mats. So sort of camping as well at the same time, and not really washing properly or sleeping very well. That just sort of added, and then unshaven and just cold and dirty. But I mean, for me, the fantasy, what I enjoy about it is that escapism and you know, the whole interest in the project to begin with. You know, growing up, reading the books, you know, as a kid, and that escape is really take you away from our world, our modern world, and dressing in a period costume, putting a wig on, automatically sort of takes you away from other films where you're playing a modern guy in modern dress.
You play yourself a bit more in modern day settings, don't you?
And just take you away. And
especially for, I mean, obviously can't say for the girls who did a lot of fighting, but especially for the guys, I sort of felt that I was 12 years old again. Oh, totally. Sort of running around with my wooden sword in the woods.
Playing,
It's the same word in German, isn't it? Spiel, and for actor, Spieler. Yeah. And it's that's what acting is. I mean, maybe that's when it's most fun, when you can just play. Yeah. And we did.
Yeah. I think that the challenge definitely for me and probably for you guys as well was the whole is when you do fantasy, there is a tendency to just go very big and theatrical and overplay it. So I think for me the challenge was to keep it real and try to be a person in that environment and talk that way, even though the script was slightly talking inspired and sort of it's heightened text, but you had to try to make it sound like it was just the way these people are speaking. Yeah.
I mean, especially as a lot of the storyline, a lot of the scenes were sort of more emotional than just action, and you can't play that too big, because it just doesn't work.
Ends up being hammy.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, for myself as well, growing up reading the books and then being able to be involved in a Lord of the Rings based project, was that absolutely fantastic.
I think what sort of stands out is if everyone came together for this love of Lord of the Rings and the same question. We all had this sort of labour of love and talking about the sort of community thing. So it was this common interest really that everyone pulled together through, getting up at 3 a.m. to drive up to West Stowe and no sleep or staying in freezing cold because of the passion for it, and everyone else was there and chipping in
and that kind of feel just sort of extended into actually the whole production from pre-production into production into post-production as well, where people just because they really like Lord of the Rings, they wanted to be involved. So Kate got loads of emails and comments from people sort of going, what can I do? I just want to be a part of this thing. Are we ready to go?
Pretty much ready. So I thought I'd just pop in quickly.
You pop in.
Because I was going to go click it myself, I think. But I just wanted to remind you that when we go live, all pledges this evening get a signed picture from all of us. So as in, Danny, look, beautiful. There's Danny.
It's a lot younger than.
Yeah.
We got Howard. This is Talbaron. So there we go. That's you. This is Chris. He's Mechicon. His Mexico Arathon. And me. So we will sign one of these each for everyone who pledges tonight. And I don't know whether we should mention the other ones in case someone pledges straight away, but we'll see. If anyone pledges any high amounts, we'll start grabbing stuff. So I'm going to go click live. Right. Ready? Okay. What's that?
Just Don Arathon.
That is Don Arathon. Yeah. Makeup went a little bit crazy with the beat.
I had
Hello, my name is Arathon.
Okay, I'm cutting away from you, but
Okay.
I'm still talking.
See you later.
Two.
I've never seen that.
The Kickstarter page. Is it going to work? There we go. So this is the Kickstarter page before it goes live. Here we go. We've got the launch button up top. See what happens when I click launch. Nothing. Nothing happens when I click launch. Oh, come on. There we go. What has that actually done? Ooh. 30 days duration, blah, 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 blah. Important reminders. We'll read them later. I have read these important reminders. Oh, of course I haven't. Okay, launch project now. Right, I'm going to click back on you because I think it's probably relatively boring looking at the screen saying important reminders. So it's on you.
Probably. Okay, so we're waiting for the Kickstarter thing to go live.
Yeah, and then I'll put the link up. Right. It's
So
launched. Congratulations.
It's launched, so that's cool. Have you guys had any sort of experiences with Kickstarter? Have you been in any projects that's been done on a Kickstarter? Because there's been quite a lot of sort of big, very sort of publicised Kickstarter campaigns lately.
Right.
From I think it was Veronica Mars, the movie, that kind of pardon the pun, kickstarted the whole thing. So the crowdfunding thing is really sort of coming up at the moment, and I think actually Born of Hope was one of the sort of the first films that actually went into the whole crowdfunding thing. Because at some point during production, Kate all realised that we were running out of funds to actually carry on, and it was that kind of thing. Well, we either just stop and make a short film with whatever we had, or turning to the fans. And again, this is where sort of the community and the fans sort of came up trumps really. And I think that must be about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, that we did a little sort of fundraising film that you can still, I think you can still see it on YouTube.
Yeah, you can. I wondered if I have it ready.
And we might show it later on tonight. But actually, funnily enough, it was one of the first sort of projects that actually reached out to a fan base and just said, look guys, if you want to see this film, you might want to help us out. And a lot of you guys probably watching now did just that. And we're kind of reaching out again to say, well, we want to do some more stuff, and we can't do it without your help really. And that's what the Kickstarter thing is all about. So we are posting the link to the Kickstarter thing, so have a look at it. Are we going to play the
we'll play the Kickstarter film? Absolutely. So we should do that right now.
We just talk a little bit more, and then as soon as
you don't have to talk pretty much anymore. I've got the Kickstarter pitch loaded.
We're going to show the Kickstarter film that you can also see on the website, but here it comes.
Okay, here we go. Boom. Hi, my name is Kate Madison, and I want to tell you about my brand new action-packed and exciting live-action fantasy web series called Ren. Ren is the first major production I've spearheaded since I produced and directed Born of Hope, my Lord of the Rings prequel, which has now been viewed over 20 million times online. As you might have guessed, I've always loved fantasy. I loved the danger and darkness of Game of Thrones, the epic history of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and the fun of Legend of the Seeker. It's shows like these that have inspired this project. So Ren will tell a serious story with amazing fights, epic scenery, a strong female lead, a splash of humour and fantastic characters we will all fall in love with. The series tells the story of Ren, a young woman whose life is turned upside down when she finds herself marked by an ancient spirit. The markings left on her face brand her evil and dangerous in everyone's eyes, even her own father's. Hunted by the powerful ruling order of the Knaths, she must go on the run with a young rogue called Hunter to discover the truth of what she has become. One of the main things that made Born of Hope such an amazing project was the fan community. And with your involvement, we can make Ren just as groundbreaking and raise the bar for fantasy web series. So the reason I want to do a web series rather than a feature film is that a web series has the ability to grow and adapt. There will, for example, be various ways for you to express your feelings towards characters and storylines through the online community, which means
that you get the chance to influence and shape the production through each new season. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. First, we need to make season 1, and that's why I'm here. Making a fantasy show is really expensive. The reason it costs so much is that unlike a production set in modern day, everything for a fantasy show needs to be designed and created from scratch. There are costumes, props, weapons, locations, animals, visual effects, and many other things that all cost money. Now, I've set the Kickstarter goal at £35,000. However, this is just the bare minimum. I managed to make Born of Hope for about the same, but we had to beg, borrow and steal, and worst of all, we had to compromise. I really don't want to have to compromise the production quality of Ren. Basically, the more money we raise, the better the final show will be. So, how do you get involved? You pledge an amount and choose a reward. It's that simple. We've created some great rewards to fit all budgets, so check them out. I think there's something for everyone, but we're very willing to add more. If you have any ideas or suggestions for rewards, please do let us know in the comments section and we'll do our best to add them. Now, I know that not everyone is able to contribute in a financial way, but there are other things that you can do. You can become an ambassador for the project. Tell everyone you know, your family, your friends, and spread the word on social media sites, forums, and blogs. In fact, grab hold of total strangers and tell them. Thank you for listening. I'm so glad to have you with me at the start of this amazing journey, and I can't wait to bring Ren to life.
Hey! Welcome back.
Hi.
So that was the pitch. That's the Kickstarter pitch. We seem to have 4 backers already, which is incredible. Thank you guys so much. You guys will definitely get signed pictures. We will start 5 backers already. Okay, it's gonna keep going up. We're gonna be signing those photos. We'll either try and do it now, or at the end of this evening, we'll get them all signed up for you guys and sent off as soon as I get addresses and things. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for supporting this project, because as you know about Born of Hope, you know, it's difficult to do these things, but you guys really want to see them and we really want to make them, so let's make them together, and that would be the best way to do it, really. You know, you guys tell us if you want something and we hopefully go make it. So yeah, really looking forward to making Ren, so let's hit our target. Yes. We have a new guest here who I feel like I should introduce you to.
And we should make space
you
for
guys,
them.
yeah,
You've
you guys
had enough of us.
Get out. Yeah, go sign some pictures quick. Please welcome John Glue, everyone. Hey, look at that camera. Hey. John is an actor and musician and things. You do a lot of stuff, right?
I do. I haul myself around like any good creative person.
Absolutely, we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you kindly helped us when we were making Born of Hope. We had, I think we had an idea for a song. I can't remember, it was a very organic process, I remember. We sort of had some lyrics that I think we'd gotten from Paula, who wrote the original script, and then I think we worked on them together, 3 of us.
I seem to remember we went to a wedding of a friend, mutual friend of ours, and we talked in the car about kind of the idea of what it would be, and and it just seemed better. I don't know, as soon as we started talking about it, I kind of had an inkling of what you were kind of going for, and I seem to remember that I kind of emailed you like a verse and a half and a chorus, and then it was like, we kind of need another verse, and I was like, okay, that's fine, and then I remember sitting around a table kind of going, and like I had some couplets and you had some couplets and Chris had some couplets, and we were like, I don't like those, and it was good. It worked really well.
It was, and it's so key. I mean, loads of people love the song. I love the song. I think it really is a perfect ending to the film, and it's so nice. And you sang and played guitar in it, and then actually we had Kevin, one of our composers, put the orchestration underneath as well.
Yeah.
And you will be doing this song live.
I will,
hopefully later.
Yeah, I will. I've relearned it for this very occasion.
It's only been like 3 years.
It's been good. It's like I'm doing a cover version of my own song.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
I mean, Kevin's beautiful arrangement, because I must admit, like I'd not heard any of that when. until the film came out, and then I was like, wow, you know, all of a sudden there was like piccolos and all kinds of strings and orchestral instruments, and I just thought it was beautiful what he did with it.
Yeah, absolutely. But we get to sit here it in its purest form, I suppose.
Indeed. I even tried it at a gig that I had on Thursday, just to make sure I remembered it.
Brilliant. Did it go down all right?
It went down really well, actually. Yeah, I had a sax player playing with me.
Oh.
And he just busked along, and it was like he knew it. It was really beautiful. I was almost I almost asked him to come, but I thought no, strip it back.
Oh, that would have been cool though.
Yeah,
Extra like saxophone. Wow, that's very cool. I'm pleased. Yeah, get it out there. It's so cool. Well, we won't force you to do that straight away. Are you with us for a little bit?
A little while, yeah. I've definitely got a couple of beers in me.
That's good. Excellent. That's how we like it.
Yeah.
And you might even do a few of your own pieces.
Potentially, if you ask, I will definitely provide my compositional.
Musical accompaniment for the evening.
Indeed.
Yes. Well, I don't know how the Kickstarter is going, but we need to get back, I think, to answering questions, because a lot of questions are coming in. So
not a problem.
I don't know if there's any music ones. I will drag you back in.
Please do.
I'll
be just round the corner.
For John about making the film, I'm going to read some off my phone as well.
I'm going to make some notes.
So yes.
I'll leave you to it.
You leave us to it.
But if there's anything you need to know, I'll be around.
Absolutely, he will play. Okay, right. I think we should get back to some questions, because you guys are asking a lot of questions and we haven't answered half of them. So, where to start? I might end up working backwards, which I apologise for if you asked a question earlier. Okay, here's one that we haven't answered yet. Andrew Clive Early. Hi on Twitter, you're also at C4DarkMain. I think you asked a question earlier that we answered, but this one is, were all the swords metal or did you use rubber props? Chris, can you help me with this one? Because I need some props to show you. I brought my sword bag up, and there is a sword on the wall as well, and so I will show you some of our swords. But to answer the question, a bit of both, although we didn't use rubber. But here is one. This is Arathorn's sword. And Chris is lucky enough to have this on his wall since we made the film. This beautiful sword was designed in Canada by our design guy Edward, who designed it in London in Canada. And then it was sent over and we picked the design, and it was created by Simon over at Raven Armories. Raven make beautiful swords, usually razor sharp, but we get them blunted for the film. It's absolutely unique prop, this. There are no others. It was designed especially for the film. Although if you want your own, go over to the Raven Armories website. I'll put the link up, or I'll put it in the descriptions as well. Go check them out, because you can get a sword made like this if you want. If you want an Arathorn sword, go talk to Simon. He will happily make you a sword. Absolutely beautiful, perfectly, really well balanced, really nice swords. I mean, Chris, what do you find? I mean, it's a really unusual one as well, with this thin thing, but it's solid as rock, and mind I don't stab you in the foot. So that's one of our metal swords. You tell me a bit about making that, and I'll go grab some of the other swords that we have so we can show you those. Hold on.
This is an absolute dream to work with stuff like this, because normally when you work on films, they are prop swords. They could look like this, but they would be a lot lighter. The metal would not be properly made. But these are, as Kate said, made by Raven Armory, and it's a very finely balanced sword. The design was made in Canada, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I just said.
Sorry, repeating what Kate just said. Especially in the scene where Arathorn, at the very end, what we call the cart fight, when Arathorn comes running out of the undergrowth and kills a few orcs and then flipped the sword round. I had a bit of trouble sort of learning that, because I was working with a prop sword and it was extremely heavy, so I couldn't actually do the flip. And then I got this fine thing, and because it is a real sword and it's so finely balanced, it just did the work for you. So yeah, you've got a few
Scoot
other
along,
swords.
because I want to come in this
I'll
side.
scoot this way.
Because I've put a couple of the other swords for the movie. You asked the question though whether they were metal or rubber. You didn't ask if they were wood, because basically we have our beautiful metal swords, but lots of our orc swords are all just made of wood. They're just crudely made out of MDF or whatever else, painted up to look okay, basically. Saying that, we did have a couple of metal orc swords. These were actually made in Canada by Edward, and I brought one along. This is quite a chunky thing, and this was used, I think this one might have been used by Gorgonog in the end fight. We used a couple for the big fighting stuff. It's a beautiful thing, even though it's like chunky and it's not obviously balanced in the same way or anything, but very, very dangerous looking metal orc sword. And we had about 3 or so of those sent over. We also have this, my sword, which I love, of course. It's my Elgarain sword. Again, Raven Armories made this one for me. And the other sword designed especially for the film, it's all in its packaging, is this one. If you can see, yeah. So this one is, it's actually Dorlad's sword, and Dorlad, if you didn't realise, is Geraint's brother. So this is the sword he has with him in the cart at the beginning, which everyone uses during the cart scene, and at the end of the movie, Geraint uses it as well. So lots of different people, it's sort of a handed down sword really. And was even actually, in the shoot, we used it in the pyre scene when Arathorn comes in and plants it at the head of the pyre. But we cut that from the edit, but it is there. Another really beautiful sort of leaf shape sword. Also have a couple of elven swords, but we have many more questions, so I will move on.
We do have many more questions. Couple of things. Maybe you should just sort of say, just when, if people have just sort of come in, this is now 20 minutes into the Kickstarter thing, so just explain what we're doing.
Right, okay, well, welcome to this evening if you haven't been here before. Tonight we are broadcasting live until midnight UK time, so for another 2 hours we are broadcasting live. Doing it to sort of celebrate projects old and new, my previous Lord of the Rings feature called Born of Hope, but also a brand new project I'm doing called Ren, which is going to be a fantasy web series. And there is Kickstarter for that project. We went live with that about 20 minutes ago. The link went out on Twitter and on Facebook. We might, I don't know if Alex is able to, we might try and put the link in one of these things at some point. That would be great.
He's got a thumbs up.
He's got a thumbs up.
He's on the case. He's on the case.
But if you don't find a link, just go to the Kickstarter page. So it's just kickstarter.com, I think, and search for Ren the series or Ren the fantasy series.
It's in the YouTube description now as well.
Oh, it's in the YouTube description as well. Oh, you know, that's why Alex is here. He's awesome. Okay, so you should be able to find the link.
Clarify that Ren is spelled just R.
It's just R-E-N, yes, not like
Ren.
the bird.
And the Ren is the main character.
Ren is the main character.
So we've got Born of Hope, we've got Ren. So here are 2 little questions: one about the past, one about the future.
Okay.
So I think he's called Peter van der Star, or Van der Star. Might be Dutch.
Okay.
If you could change one thing about the process for Born of Hope, not a scene or a character, but the process, what would that be?
Okay, I mean, it's one of those things that I can't really sort of say. I love how it all came together in the end and what we managed to produce for so little money and so little sort of time and everyone putting in free time and things. I would love to have had, I suppose, a real core team. I mean, I had such dedicated people trying to help make this thing happen, trying to sort of head up costume departments or props and things like that, but we didn't officially really have kind of heads of department that came on from the start and lasted through the whole shoot, because it's difficult when people are working for free. You can't ask someone to work full-time on a project for well, 2 or more years really, and so that meant that I was wearing a lot of hats, trying to sort of head the things and delegate out, and I'm not very good at delegating. So I think that would probably be it, so that we could really sort of make sure that all our departments are up to scratch. But again, limited funds, so we did an amazing job with what we had.
Yeah. So that kind of leads into talking a little bit about Ren, because that is one of the things that you're very keen to build up that team.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm and the fact that Ren is a potential, if you guys love it, it is a potential long-term project where we do season 1 this time, and then hopefully season 2, season 3, goodness knows what we could end up doing. And so it would be lovely to be a sort of sustainable project, so that we can have a core team working on it, maybe not full time, but like for the things, so that you have a head of art department and a head of costume and things like that. And actually thinking about it, I should be trying to live link with certain people at the moment, because I have James Ewing, I'm going to say his name wrong now. James Ewing is on board Ren. He's about the only person apart from us that is on board Ren properly at the moment, and he's in the production design department. He's doing a lot of production design for props already. It's very exciting, the stuff that he comes up with, and I'm going to try and live link with him very shortly. And another person I'm going to live link with is Neil Osman, who's waiting for us probably on Skype, and he's another filmmaker, one of a few filmmakers I've been talking to, and he also does fantasy, so we thought we'd connect with a few other people, so you're not just listening to us, you're talking to other independent filmmakers who are trying to get fantasy films made.
Yeah, but just to make the point that there are other people linked into the project at the moment. They're doing their sort of things more separately. Doing some concept art,
all that sort of thing. Absolutely.
And actually, if some of you guys out there would be interested in helping out, doing designs,
we are still looking. The team is not built
Absolutely.
and locked, so always on the lookout for talented, creative people. Yeah.
And following on to the Ren sort of line, J. Prawley asks, what sort of character do you like writing, and are there recurring themes?
Ooh.
And we're talking Ren here.
Right. So I'm wondering if
characters,
that means...
Let's take characters first. What kind of characters?
What kind of
like?
characters?
Not necessarily
do I
for
like
Ren,
writing?
but
Well, I suppose it's similar to Ren. I'm a girl and I write and I do filmmaking, and so it's almost sort of set that I like strong female roles. I know lots of writers and filmmakers always say that, women always say that there's not enough of them and things, and we're always complaining about it. And I think pretty much rightly, though there isn't a load of them out there, and it's sort of one of the reasons why Ren came about as well, that I thought it'd be really nice to have the lead character be female. Loads of you guys who've watched Born of Hope have loved my character of Elgarain, and so having that sort of character is really good fun. But I kind of like, gosh, it's hard to know what I like writing. I think I need to do a bit more of it, actually. I haven't done maybe enough to really know what characters I like writing, but it is so nice to write for all the different characters and try and find each individual voice, and so that they are all very distinctive, really. But yeah, sort of it's fun to write comedy sometimes, and then a bit of comedy sidekick style characters, but also the sort of heroic characters, or the kind of cheeky rogue characters. We've got Hunter in Ren, who is kind of Ren's, I wouldn't say sidekick, because that might make you think comedy sidekick, but he is sort of the second lead character, and he's sort of very much the sort of rogue hero, the one we all fall in love with, but still figuring out what his past is, because he's in season 1 at least, we know very little about him. So yeah, so we'll see. We'll see as we start to develop Ren a lot more. We're still working on finalizing the script for the first season. It's kind of outlined and we've got most of it, and we're tweaking, so we're finding the voice of the characters still, and that's one of the points as well when we go into sort of season 2 and 3, is you guys can we'll be listening to you guys saying, oh, I love Hunter, I want to see more of that, or I love this character, or you guys don't have a comedy sidekick yet, where are they? We can bring them in, so it can grow and adapt. It's brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah.
One little question that's probably not as easy.
Oh, they're never easy.
No, but this is probably not easy because it's a question: who drew the pictures at the end credits?
Oh, now you're challenging me.
A lot of people, actually.
Well, Natalie Eggleton definitely did. Gosh, you are putting me on the spot now, and I'm going to get my wrist slapped if I don't remember people. Damn you!
Go have a look at the credits.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you should be watching the credits yourself. Like, they should be credited on the IMDb page as well, like most people are. And on the end credits, they are credited as, in the art department, I think it says credit artwork or something like that. They are credited. Natalie definitely did some. I think Louise Haig, I can't say her last name. I think she's from Denmark. And she did some costume design. I'm pretty sure she might have done some of the end credit pictures as well. And there might well have been another person. And I'm so sorry that I can't remember who you are. It's been a while since I looked at the credits, guys. We will find out. Oh, people are asking if you want any... No. Oh, poor Alex he's trying to write a note and he's left the old note on there. Oh, bless him. Okay, sorry. I'm here to let you know that we have 16 backers already and we are up to £747. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. That is exactly why we are doing this evening. Keep asking your questions. Keep putting in the pledges and tell your friends about it too. I mean, just spread the word. Even if you can't donate, spread the word out there and tell people about it, because the worst thing is that people don't know about it. So that is awesome. All you guys, all 16 of you, will be getting the signed pictures. And I should probably say, I suppose, I don't know, I can't see what the pledges are, but let me get something I want to show you. Sorry to leave camera, give me a second.
I'll jump in just so there's someone here.
I forgot to print out the rewards thing, damn it. Ooh, tripping over swords. I'm back. Right, I just wanted to show you. This is some last. We couldn't really make merchandising for Born of Hope, but there were some things that were made before we were told that. And one of them was car stickers or window stickers. And these are about the only ones I've got left. If you can see that, it's little Luke. As I can't see if you can see that. I think you can see that. That's our Born of Hope. It's just a little sticker that will go on your car or your window or whatever. So I can give away some of these as well. So what I might do now, can I remember all the reward levels? I don't know how many I've got until they run out, maybe. For everyone, what sort of bids have we got, Alex? Shout them out. Like, what's the highest tier that's been taken, sort of thing? Oh, is that
now you're putting Alice on the spot.
Oh wait, you talk. I'm going to go quickly look because I've got some things that are going to be cool to give away, and I want to have a look. But I will answer questions first, and then I'll do that. No. What
we're going to do, we're just going to show you the Kickstarter video again.
That's a great idea.
Just because
new people.
There are quite a few more people coming on. So apologies to all of you guys who have already seen it. But
we'll have some new stuff and some
why we're here.
And things. Yeah.
So we're just going to show that again. It's about 3 minutes, and then Kate will be back.
I will be back with how you can get your hands
you just
on these. Well, no, that's fine. So yeah, so I've got these scripts that are signed by the writer, and I can sign, and the guys here can sign them too. And I'm going to give them away for a particularly high reward level, I think, for the first couple of people. But I will come back to you on that one after we play the Kickstarter video. So let's do that.
Hi, my name is Kate Madison, and I want to tell you about my brand new action-packed and exciting live-action fantasy web series called Ren. Ren is the first major production I've spearheaded since I produced and directed Born of Hope, my Lord of the Rings prequel, which has now been viewed over 20 million times online. As you might have guessed, I've always loved fantasy. I loved the danger and darkness of Game of Thrones, the epic history of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and the fun of Legend of the Seeker. It's shows like these that have inspired this project. Fights, will the story of Ren, a young woman whose life was marked by an angel. The markings left evil and dangerous in everyone's eyes, even her own father's. Hunted by the powerful ruling order of the Knath, she must go on the run with a young rogue called Hunter to discover the truth of what she has become. One of the main things that made Born of Hope such an amazing project was the fan community, and with your involvement we can make Ren just as groundbreaking and raise the bar for fantasy web series. So the reason I want to do a web series rather than a feature film is that a web series has the ability to grow and adapt. There will, for example, be various ways for you to express your feelings towards characters and storylines through the online community, which means that you get the chance to influence and shape the production through each new season. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. First, we need to make season 1, and that's why I'm here. Making a fantasy show is really expensive. The reason it costs so much is that unlike a production set in modern day, everything for a fantasy show needs to be designed and created from scratch. There are costumes, props, weapons, locations, animals, visual effects, and many other things that all cost money. Now, I've set the Kickstarter goal at £35,000. However, this is just the bare minimum. I managed to make Born of Hope for about the same. We had to beg, borrow, and steal, and worst of all, we had to compromise. I really don't want to have to compromise the production quality of Ren. Basically, the more money we raise, the better the final show will be. So, how do you get involved? You pledge an amount and choose a reward. It's that simple. We've created some great rewards to fit all budgets, so check them out. I think there's something for everyone, but we're very willing to add more. If you have any ideas or suggestions for rewards, please do let us know in the comments section and we'll do our best to add them. Now, I know that not everyone is able to contribute in a financial way, but there are other things that you can do. You can become an ambassador for the project. Tell everyone you know, your family, your friends, and spread the word on social media sites, forums, and blogs. In fact, grab hold of total strangers and tell them. Thank you for listening. I'm so glad to have you with me at the start of this amazing journey, and I can't wait to bring Ren to life.
Hello, back again. Sorry. So yes, I have figured this out. I have 2 scripts here. They are different scripts. So this one was from March 2009. This was written, and this one unfortunately isn't dated. So I'm trying to remember if this is an after or before one. But what's interesting about it, about these scripts, is that they're not necessarily everything that you see in the movie. These are the Born of Hope scripts. So I think this first one, at least, definitely has some more extra scenes, lots of deleted scenes. There's a lot more voiceover stuff in there. Actually, the Elven is even written out at times with the English translation, which is kind of cool, and yes, various deleted scenes and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is give these away to the first 2 Kickstarter producer pledges, basically. I think it's the $350 tier, but you guys get to be Kickstarter producers, and you'll get these, obviously, first 2, and you also, oh gosh, you get loads of stuff. I'm going to be like doing regular videos from the set. We'll link up on Skype and various things, and it's going to be very interactive, a great way to really see how something like this is put together, and get to see very exclusive stuff and things, plus a cool credit of Kickstarter producer, which is kind of awesome. So that's what I'm doing for that. And for these things, for however many I have, so I can't think exactly how many, maybe sort of 7, 10, something like that, for the first 7 or 10 or whatever of the £50 pledge. And what is that? Remind me what the £50 pledge is called. I've totally forgotten. I think it's the
£50
downloadable package. Yeah, which is a great thing. You get all the stuff. It's all downloadable straight away as soon as it's done. And you guys will also get these and the signed pictures that I mentioned earlier. And we will go around and find some other things that we can give away too. So I think John is going to come in and play his song, the Bloodline of the Kings. Yes. And while he's doing that, I'm going to try and link up with some of the guys I'm going to Skype chat with. So stay tuned for that. And I will leave you with John.
Good evening. Okay, so this is the Bloodline of the Kings, as I remember it. The rippling of water, an echoing of conversations gone, carry like a secret of all that's been and all will carry on until it finds new shore. A new journey begins once more, begins once more. And these lands retain memory, it's whispered in the wind. The peaks along the skyline, they catalogue all things. It's only when you're looking the new pathways appear, that they appear. Preserve the memory learned in a lifetime, and through our stories you will know our endeavor and our hope, living on within the bloodline of a king. Those who came before us, they live forever in this land, reflected in the waters, beneath the memory of man. And it's only when you listen journeys begin, can they begin? Preserve the memory learned in a lifetime, and through our stories you will know our endeavor and our hope, living on within the bloodline of a king. Living on within the bloodline of a king. There you go. Thank you very much.
awesome.
My very much pleasure.
We might well have you do that again later.
Okay.
Actually, I should really be checking in case somebody has asked a question about music. Is anyone else monitoring this stuff? Maybe I should hand this to you, Chris. Monitor questions and then hand it back to me with something highlighted, maybe. Right.
I was just going to say, with 23 million hits, you're probably one of the most popular British sort of acts.
Underground acts. Underground is definitely.
How many sort of British singer-songwriters?
Well, when I generally play gigs, 23 million people don't turn up.
Really?
So, if anybody wants to know, they can go to jonathanglue.com.
Well done, there we
find
go.
out.
We'll try and stick that in the description as well. Promote everyone, that's what we're about.
Exactly.
Cool, okay. I'm going to throw you off again, John, sorry.
That's fine.
I
That's right. I got a pretzel, that's all I need.
So you can take pretzels. I'm going to do that because I'm going to have a quick chat with James Ewing, who is on Skype right now and hopefully can hear me. Wave if you can hear me just so that I can see. Oh, awesome. We seem to have a connection. So we are going to connect through to James, and you'll see James at the moment, I think, and we'll see. We might well try and do a 2-camera thing. We'll see how talented we are, or Alex is really. Anyway, just to let you know who James is, I'll let him introduce himself a bit better as well. But as I said, James is part of the Ren team and is helping to bring to life lots of the sort of art department style stuff, especially our props. We have a couple of really key props in Ren at the moment, and and James is helping to bring them to life. And I'll let him explain a little bit, and I've got some of his images and concepts that we'll try and put up as well. So, oh, there you are, James. So you're live at the moment. Say hello. See, I can't hear you. That's. You might as well unplug the headphones. That won't be a very good Skype chat if I can't actually hear. Although if you're only going to use James's image, maybe I should go over there. Oh, well planned. Right, sorry, coming over. Right, I can hear you now. Hello? Hey, that works. Hopefully everyone else can hear both of us as well. So, yeah, introduce yourself a bit. Tell us about yourself and your workshop and things like that. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. You've not been on the project very long at all, have you? But it already set you to work. That is a good point. Don't really want to give away too many spoilers. But let me bring up, try and bring up your pictures. I don't think can't do anything fancy like you and the picture at the same time, but let me bring this up. Oh, there we go. Sorry, people, I cut the sound out. See, I let Alex take a break and suddenly it all goes wrong. I also need your sound, James. Hold on. Oh,
I'm not sure. Hold on. Say something. Oh no, that didn't work. Hold on. Oh no, technical stuff. Bear with us, people. Say something, James. Damn it. Okay, I will quickly explain this image and then come back to James so that he can speak as well. That would be best. So, what I've put up on screen is some of the concept art that James has started doing on a book concept, basically. So you've got various images of, completely reimagining of what a book has to be, essentially. I wrote in a relatively small but maybe significant book that appears and then disappears. And then James managed to take that simple idea of a book and create an amazing sort of prop out of it, of what if it folds out different ways, or is a scroll, as you can see, and has all these different flip out pages and stuff like that. So that's the sort of thing that we've been going through. And here's another. Sorry, I need to sort out sound for that image as well. Rubbish. So here's another one, which hopefully, you still hear me. And so other concepts of another prop, which I won't tell you too much about, but again, quite a significant prop when it comes to Ren and her encounter with the Kanath Master. Okay, I'm going to bring back James. So here we go.
Hi James, you're back. Sorry, cutting you off there. I'm not as technical as Alex, clearly. So I just showed everyone, I don't know if you could hear me, I showed people the images of the book ideas and of our contraption that the Master Man uses against Ren. Do you want to talk a little bit quickly just about how you come upon a prop and how I just find it's brilliant how you can take a simple idea like a book and go, but what if this twists and that opens and that reveals more and all that. Oh, I have a horrible feeling we're not hearing you. Damn it, what am I doing wrong? Hold on. Is anyone watching this to know whether or not it's live? I feel like...
They're saying you should come back in the camera.
I'm gonna put James back into... Alex, just... I don't know if you can find out, because I'm worried that he's talking and nobody can hear him. Chris, you can't go in the other room and go and watch this for a moment and see if it actually is happening. Because I don't want people to be like, oh, I can't hear him.
But you need to go live though.
What, do I? Okay.
Yeah, because...
Alright. Well, tell... James, you can hear me, sorry. We'll come back to you and figure out technical potential problems. But I need to answer more questions, apparently. So if you're around later, we'll check back in. But yes, you're doing an amazing job so far. We will hear much more of you later in tonight, but also generally in the story of Ren, really. Thank you. Bye. Hello everyone, I'm back. I really hope you could hear some of that. I managed to cut the sound out a few times, but I hope you could hear some of what James was saying. We will figure out whether that all worked. So I have more questions, I think. I have one from Steve Marshall. Can I shoot this, please? ? Quite possibly, Steve. Quite possibly. Yes. We have an assistance of concept art. Thank you very much, Jack. I will definitely chat with you about that later. Whatever else have we got here? Who will the Swordmaster and stunt coordinator be for Ren? I think you're sending me to someone who might be that very person. Thank you, Jamie. I will check them out. My mother is trying to call me. Good timing, Ma. No. So I don't know yet who will be Swordmaster or Stunt Coordinator for Ren. We love Lewis. I recorded a little Skype chat with Lewis, and I'm hoping that we can play some of that later on. The time is flying amazingly, which is brilliant. So I don't know exactly yet, but I know a lot of amazing fighters and stunt guys, so we will see. But no one's locked down yet. I will check them out. So I'm trying to find some questions. This is so unprofessional, I'm sorry. Oh, you can't hear James on Skype. I'm so sorry, technical error. Yes, thank you, Jamie, for letting us know. We will try and figure that out for trying to reconnect with him. Thank you, Ian, for backing the project. I see your tweet. Ian Bruno has backed the project. Awesome, thank you. More of you, please. Where is some questions? There must be more questions that I haven't seen. There's quite a lot of them, I think. I should do a search for the hashtag. Right. Chris, do you want to come back in? Because I think I'm waffling. So while I search for hashtag, why don't you tell us something?
Something.
Oh no, I'm struggling. Tell us a bit. You can tell us a bit about Ren. You've been writing some of it. To try and keep it relatively vague because things are still changing.
Well,
but
we don't want to give away
characters.
any.
You can mention the characters involved because they're not going to change.
Okay.
Oh, I'm leaving. Oh, I'm ordered out.
Sort out a list of questions.
Oh.
Well, yeah. Ren, there are quite a lot of interesting characters in Ren, and some of the most interesting ones are probably sort of the characters that add up the backstory of this world. Because if you read on the Kickstarter page, you kind of get an impression of what Ren is, and you get a good idea of what happens in the first season. At the moment, my favourite characters are the Kanath. And the Kanath are sort of the bad guys, in a sense. But like in sort of good fantasy, like Lord of the Rings, like Game of Thrones, these guys, you don't really know. Sometimes they are the bad guys, and sometimes you can sort of see it from their perspective. I really like that, and I think the leader of the Kanath, who is at the moment called the Masked Man, is a very intriguing character, and it's definitely one of those characters that can evolve throughout the season and throughout the series. Opposite the Kanath, we've got the Numari, or the Marked Ones, that have kind of been outlawed and vilified by the Kanath, and they are really, really interesting characters as well, because like in so many sort of societies, we have people who are able to, they might have sort of certain healing powers, they're in touch with nature, and they, like in Lord of the Rings, we've got these kind of people. But what happens a lot of the time is that when power-hungry people come in, they start going, well, we can't have these little people who are in touch with nature, who will go around and heal people for free. We can't have that. So there's in the backstory of Ren, there's been a huge clash between the Numari, these otherworldly people, I suppose, and the Kanath, who are a little bit more, we must have the power. So those are my two sort of favourite fractions, if you like. Not having talked at all about any of the sort of main characters, we can do that a little bit later.
I'm back. I haven't heard anything of what he's just said, so I have no idea what he's told you and whether
I've just made it up.
Actually anything that I had in my head. So we'll find out.
I've completely made it up.
I'm monitoring the hashtag now, and lots of you told us you couldn't hear James. Sorry about that. I hope that was only when I put the image up, because I realised I'd made a mistake. And hopefully some of you heard the ending of it. Let us know actually if you heard any of James at all, so that we know whether or not we can bring him up again or bring up Neil, because Neil's also waiting to potentially come online, unless it's getting too late for you, Neil. I can see your tweets, so you can let me know. Okay, so let me see. Finding. Blah, blah, blah.
So while you're finding some
I'm
interesting
sorry,
questions,
it's hard.
we are sort of gearing up to another little performance by John Glue.
Hey.
He's going to sing one of his own songs because he's, as we said earlier, he's a singer-songwriter. So he does his own material. Yes.
Can I just say, Julia Overbeck,
Julia.
thank you very much for backing the project. I see your tweets. Thank you, and
Brilliant.
thanks for the good luck. Brilliant.
And as well, thanks to all of you guys who are sort of tweeting in, Facebooking in, saying, "Ooh, I'd love to do some concept art. Ooh, I'd love to do help with filming or whatever." We are probably going to have to go through that tomorrow and just check out with people and get back to you. But keep that thought going.
Absolutely, give us some time to get back to you on that one. Abby, you have a question. I'm getting to that. So, what are some other web series you guys enjoy? Well, I have to say The Guild. Like, I love The Guild. It's great. I love what Felicia Day does, and I'm really loving all the stuff on Geek and Sundry as well. It would be almost quite amazing if Ren ended up on Geek and Sundry. Who knows? That would be awesome. Hey, Felicia, maybe I should tweet you.
Hint, hint, maybe.
But at the moment, just so you know, Ren is going to be going on my Mythica channel, actually. It potentially won't be on the Actors at Work channel. We might put some things on, but I have a brand new channel called Mythica Entertainment on YouTube. There is no videos on there at the moment, I'm afraid, but it's ready and raring to go, and that is hopefully going to be my mini version of Geek and Sundry, I suppose, where I'll put some various fantasy work like Ren, the behind the scenes of Ren, and all those sort of things, and potentially other things. We have ideas for other potential programming that might end up on the Mythica channel, so go along and subscribe. I know it's early and I know there's nothing for you to watch yet, but then you will be ready when the things go out. We'll maybe put the link. I'll put the link in the description and things potentially later, if not soon. So Guild, obviously. I also hopefully will be connecting with, again, if we can get the Skype working properly, which is slightly annoying me, Francis Abbey of The Broken Continent.
Yeah.
That's
pretty good.
Francis is around. So he's hanging around with Skype and he's watching. So thank you, hello, Francis. We had a chat for the very first time yesterday. I put the call out to see if he'd be interested in connecting tonight. We had a good old chat about his production. I'd seen his pilot. He did a great Kickstarter for his show. It's a great fantasy web series. If you like that sort of thing, you should go and check out The Broken Continent. And also, obviously, Dragon Age Redemption, Felicia Day's fantasy project. Trying to think of other web series. I haven't seen a huge amount of web series. I know there's a lot out there. I'm suddenly not thinking of any. Although
It's gone blank.
there's so many, and there's a lot of great stuff, and it's a growing thing, especially in the UK. So hopefully we will help to add amazing content to that pool, especially the fantasy market. Yes, of course, Journey Quest as well. That's a brilliant fantasy sort of comedy series. Those guys do a fantastic job, and they do various other films and various other things. And I think Standard Action is another great comedy fantasy series as well.
Should we get John in and have a little musical interlude?
But no, that's a question I've answered. Just wondering if there's any other questions I've missed somewhere along the line. If I haven't answered your question, maybe tweet it again, and then hopefully I'll spot it and we'll get to your question. And thank you for everyone who has been tweeting me and saying hello and things. Thank you so much for watching this. This is awesome. And I haven't seen how the Kickstarter's going. I'm going to go check it out while you have a listen to John. Come back in, John, and we'll get out. Or I'll get out.
Get off the couch.
Oh, go on.
Oh, you can stay if you like.
Stay.
You can be serenaded by me
You
if
can
you
sing
like.
along.
This is a song that I wrote. It's quite different to the kind of tone of Bloodline of the King that I wrote for Born of Hope. But it's a song called Can't Get Enough on my ukulele. And it goes like this. I must look funny to smile, your eyes wide. It's when I know we are the same. I must look funny to you when you see me. What do you see? A bald man with white hands, strumming a ukulele. We're cut from a different cloth, but we're stitched the same. Both friends and strangers, you and I. And what we share goes on to energize me, and that's when I begin to realize I can't get enough, I can't get enough, I can't get enough of your love. Can't get enough, can't get enough, I can't get enough of your love. Can't get enough, can't get enough, can't get enough of your love. Can't get enough to satisfy my soul. Look funny to you, I can see you staring at me. Step back unabashed, and it seems so comfortable to me. And I must look funny to you when you see me. You always smile, you're so wise, you're so kind. We'd have it all if we'd have time. And as with the best laid plans of mice and men, I have to follow my heart. Oh, I'll let my feelings overrule my head. Oh, and then and only then can all this start. I can't get enough, I can't get enough, I can't get enough of your love. Can't get enough, I can't get enough, can't get enough of your love. Can't get enough, can't get enough, can't get enough of your love. Can't get enough to satisfy my soul.
Yay! I love that. Is that available on iTunes? Should we be?
It's not available on iTunes. I will.
It will be soon.
I will happily throw in one of my band CDs to any one of the levels of.
We'll figure out a
funding.
level
That's
for
all
you.
for you, but I'm quite happy to do that for anybody that's supporting Ren. I'm looking forward to working on Ren. We haven't really talked about it yet.
I'm now obliged, aren't I?
You're so tied into it.
Also,
good.
the thing about joy of live broadcast.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's a
Excellent.
contract.
Yes! Verbal handshake. I'm back. Stuff. Okay, exciting news. I think Alex is going to put it on screen. And I've just remembered that I've now forgotten his name completely. Paul Johnson. Oh man, unprofessional. Paul Johnson is our first Kickstarter producer. Awesome, thank you so much, Paul. You get one of these. I will eeny-meeny it. I'm not quite sure unless you tell me you want the March 09 or the other one, basically. Or we can discuss, don't worry. You have the first choice, you are the first one. And don't forget, I will also be doing these ones to the guys who are backing our downloadable package till I run out, basically, and also all of the signed pictures as well. I have some questions that I can answer, some new people asking questions. Thank you. If you've joined us recently, we are live broadcasting through until midnight UK time, another hour and 15. Oh my goodness, it's gone so quickly. We've got so much more to show and to talk to, and we haven't managed to do half of what we wanted to do, which is kind of good though, and it's kind of tempting to do this again. Oh, what am I saying? But it's quite fun, really. Like the nerves of it. Right. Oh, loads more have suddenly come through. Oh gosh, am I going to say your name wrong? Oh, it's Sarah Sager, at Sarah Sager, or Saria. Oh, I hope I've said your name right. I'm so sorry. You say hi, Kate. Hi back. Have you scouted any locations for filming? What kind of landscape are you looking for? Best of luck. Thank you. I have sort of scouted some locations. We will see. Nothing is completely locked yet, but the first season of Ren takes place mostly within her village, where she starts out her journey, essentially. Once we go into season 2 and 3, we go much more into a journey and much more into the landscape of the world. So at the moment, I am looking at a location that's called Cosmiston Medieval Village. A little like Westow, it's a medieval village down just south of Cardiff in Wales. It's been used, you've probably seen, if you like fantasy shows like BBC's Merlin, then you've probably seen this little village called Cosmiston, because it's featured a lot. It was Merlin's home village and various other things. It's sort of backed, it's been many things. It's doubled as many things. I've talked briefly with those guys. I think that could make a really nice location for Ren for season 1. There are a couple of other locations we need for that season, but we will have a think about that. The big dream is to sort of to be able to go big when we get into future seasons, and potentially even leave the UK at times if we have the budget to go either into Europe, or if we really have the budget to go to New Zealand would be amazing. But yeah, that's hard, but that would be amazing. It has such amazing landscape there, and also in Eastern Europe as well, Romania and Hungary and various other places. So there is a lot of places we can explore, and like Game of Thrones, we can potentially, travel all over if we had the means, and write for locations all over the world, because she's going to be exploring the entire world, really, which could mean going north, south, east, west, and finding different cool locations. So who knows about that in the future, but for now we're keeping it relatively small and probably going to South Wales for that. Let me see another question. We have someone asked, I've lost the question, where is it? Come on phone. Okay. Hello to Count von Orlok II, or at Phil Meyer. I probably said that wrong. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Who says, new subscriber / follower, and I can't wait to see Ren. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for following. We will keep you updated with things. John, you have a question.
I have a question. Good job, I'm still here.
Yes, come, you have a question. This is from Specimen, or at Philanath, something like that. There you go. What are your main inspirations when writing a song?
I think it's different with every song I write, I think. I mean, when you guys approached me to write a song, it was definitely with the idea of the story and kind of the narrative, and so the kind of Bloodline of the Kings thing was about this kind of everlasting story, and obviously because it's kind of a prequel with the Lord of the Rings stuff, I don't know, I just wanted to tie all that in. And then there's something about the landscape in all those films that I think is really important, and like nature. So I drew my inspiration from kind of a lot of that, I think, when I was thinking about what I wanted to write about. Then the last song that I played, Can't Get Enough, I wrote while I was travelling in Laos
Right.
And that was kind of about the perception of people looking at me, a strange bald white man with a ukulele, and I thought kind of what that exchange was, and it always ended up to be beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I thought this kind of idea of that I can't get enough of that connection, which was so I think every song is completely different. But it generally isn't in my control. It's one of these things that it comes and you can't, it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Thank you very much for asking me a question.
Any other questions for John or anyone else? I mean, Danny and Howard are still here. I need to probably bring them back in to say hello to you guys before they have to leave. Yeah, thanks, John. You can leave again.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go through some other questions. Oh, okay. In 2 minutes, we're going to show one of the Born of Hope kind of blooper reels. It's a bit of fun of what it was like making Born of Hope and how much fun it can be on set and things. We had a ball making the film, and although it's quite a serious film, making it didn't have to be. So I'll answer one more question, then we'll show that because it's a bit of fun. So one more question, or a couple more questions maybe if I can be quick. Jamie, oh goodness, again, I'm never going to be able to say your name right. Bibdulf? Oh goodness, I'm so rubbish like that. Right, so sorry. He says, sorry to be a pest. What type of fantasy races will you have in Ren? Any Tolkien like types or anything new? Good question. That's almost, I can't almost answer that at the moment. The season 1 is very much being written as races of men. It's very much sort of men races. I've just said that twice. But there is possibility definitely for doing various races. I mean, I love. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Sorry. So someone's telling me, Chris is reminding me of the Namari, which is kind of one of the races in Ren. But we still don't know really. I haven't decided exactly what that race is going to be. But essentially, that is the spirit, the sort of soul of another race or a past human. Who knows at the moment? That Ren ends up in a symbiotic relationship with. Essentially, that's the spirit that enters her. Is called an Namari. And yes, and we're still deciding. That's an ancient spirit, but whether or not it's an ancient spirit of men or of a different race, I'm not sure. Very keen to add in different races, different things. The great thing about a web series is we can add in different characters and different races for each season and then disappear and go on to a different place, and she can visit various places that have different races and themes. So open-ended at the moment, so any suggestions or any real loves of what you want, then do let me know. Quickly, Julia Averbeck, would you like to work with David Tennant or Matt Smith? Sorry, just watched Doctor Who before this. That's okay, Julia, I'd be watching Doctor Who too. Of course I would want to work with those guys. Who wouldn't? I'm an actor and a filmmaker, and those guys are very talented and brilliant people. And of course they're the Doctor, so yeah. Not more to say really. Yes is the answer to that one. Thank you, Chris Taylor, for offering potential help. No problem. We will chat. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking again now. So, what's anything new? Get in touch if you need any help. Right. I think, anyway, I'm going to look for some more questions while we show you the blooper reel for Born of Hope. Here you go. Enjoy.
Don't tell anyone. Someone made me a bacon sandwich. I love them.
So I'm supposed to say something profound now. Yeah, I've got nothing profound to say. It's only 10:15. I've been up since 5.
And but I'm Muslim. It's because it happened.
Oh, no. It just popped up.
Probably back in.
Take eating. Take 4.
Eating wig as well. Mmm.
White team.
Nice
You film me eating a biscuit.
Capitation.
You've got 5 little banshees.
Oh yeah, it's a special day.
It's like Alien.
It was the stalest custard cream I think I've ever eaten.
Beautiful.
On the round.
But it still tastes good.
Do you not kind of go to sleep every night going, how can I work in these conditions? That's just normally happening constantly. As soon as I get on set, generator, that's it.
Sam Neill left these lying around. Big mistake.
Sell them, man. Oh, glorious.
Sam, we love you, but we like your sweets more.
Maybe you should pee into one of the generators, or... I've got all these ideas. See if it'll run on cooking oil.
If you want to hike and stride for hours, you need Pepsi. If you want to have long hair like the rest of us, drink Pepsi. Because we're worth it.
Trying to do my job the best I can.
Ranger pile.
He's laying down again.
With the water spray. Hey, at least he's awake today. This is a serious step forward.
We got the grenade, we got the C4.
Are you going to blow shit up?
Thinking about it.
Look at you, Mr. Cool. Mr. Rockstar.
Oh, daft with tissues on my head.
Deep depth of field for that. So
For close-ups.
yeah, I mean, for close-ups, then yeah. Unless you're right, the long.
This is the height of fashion, of course. Let's get the quiff right.
Quiff, giant nipple.
I can do hats.
Schnozzles Durante.
Dear Hyle, my wife is Owen and my daughter.
You're right.
And I am.
Hey! Cool. So we're back after a little blooper reel. So yeah, there's 4 of us, as you can see. A little extra cast members join us. So yeah, after sort of having a quick look at that blooper thing, it sort of brings back that.
There were some funny moments.
It's as Kate I think said before, that it's a very serious film.
Mm.
You know, it's not one of those fan films where it's a bit of a laugh, a bit of a piss take.
No.
It's a very serious film, but you can still have a lot of fun filming it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we definitely had fun filming it. I mean, yeah, I think there were quite a few things that happened, especially when we were
make the final cut.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think for me one of the highlights, and it wasn't really a blooper or anything, but it was when we were filming at Westow and this family was walking around with their little baby, and basically Kate just ran over and said, "Oh, excuse me, can we borrow your baby for a while? We're just filming," and they just went, yeah. Basically handed over a 2-month-old or something like that. I said, yeah, you can wrap
Couldn't have scripted that.
our baby in some fur and call him Aragorn. So I mean, that was one of the highlights for me because it was just so completely surreal.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, everything else was like, oh, we need extras for this and someone for that and stuff. And all of a sudden it was just like, oh, there's a baby. Let's just take that one and do a scene.
That's so cool for the kid as well. He's going to grow up being able to tell the other kids
Being
at
on
school.
film.
Yeah.
When did your film career start? Well, I was 2 months old.
Funny thing.
I was spotted.
I actually played Aragorn.
I was walking around with my parents and whoops, there we are. Cool.
Scouted.
Howard, you were in on the test shoot as well, which was back in 2006.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think
we're all on one.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
And you're on that?
I was, but I didn't shoot on the same days as you guys.
No.
Because originally, in the test shoot, in the original storyline, I was going to play the brother of Beth.
That's true, yeah.
Of Gilrain. So, yeah, and that changed. I didn't end up being her brother. I ended up just being Ginger Ranger. I guess.
But a cool one.
Yeah, but a cool one. Yeah.
Cool.
Because we had a crane for that as the troll, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which we was our eye line, this big boom
Yeah, actually, if you check out the trailer, I think, for the trailer shoot, basically back in 2006, still on YouTube, you will see a shot where we're all sort of looking up, going, oh! And
it's a boom. It's a boom.
There was a camera on a crane that sort of moved up to sort of simulate that there's someone looking down at these little people. Luckily, we got Paul to do the proper hill troll, so we didn't have to do that one. I
thought the test shoot itself, as a little short film, was fun to make, and it looks really good as well.
Pretty epic as well.
Yeah.
I'm glad I had a different wig though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think in the test shoot I've got like flowing sort of blonde locks, which.
But you know,
you like yours.
Sometimes living rough, you know, in the forest, you don't always have access to the best shampoos and conditioners.
It is true.
So sometimes it can be a little bit crazy. That's what I put it down to for
the test shoot. Right. Yeah. Cool. I mean, there's another little sort of thing for me when we filmed at Clearwell Caves, because it's an old iron mine. And it's actually been mined like way back, so not prehistoric obviously, but there's been iron mined there for thousands of years. And I was looking at sort of it's a museum now sort of for the whole mining thing, but I saw it was a letter that was framed, and it was kind of not even in the main exhibition or anything. It was just a letter from, I think, mid 1840s or something, and it was a letter from whoever owned the mine at that time, writing to I don't know if it was it was definitely to get permits to employ kids in the mine, so a Victorian thing.
Yeah.
But in the letter, and it is very sort of normal letters were saying, oh yes, we're doing this and that, but he was describing what, that they were mining and stuff, and there was a line that just stuck in my head, and he said, we have now gone beyond the memory of man, to sort of say we are digging into this mine, and we've now reached a level where no man has ever been before, and just that beyond the memory of man in this very straightforward letter about employing people and stuff like that. Just stuck, and it is actually in the prologue for the film, and it comes from this letter in a mine in Wales, and in Bloodline of the Kings as well. Thank you very much. So those little weird things I like about filmmaking. I like about
you come across something and you think, actually,
and there's something in there that just stays with you, and you can use it. I was wondering, because now it is 11 o'clock around here in the UK, and I think just to remind us why we're here, the Kickstarter thing, that maybe we should just... Oh, there's a plan.
I mean, there is a plan.
Beast again.
Yeah. Oh, look.
Oh.
Hi. So that I'm not a voice off screen. The plan is just, I would just want to let people know that the so cozy. That so far on our Kickstarter campaign, we have already hit £1,412, like £1,412, which is incredible. We've only been going like an hour and a half, if that. Thank you guys so much. Is it 25 people have already pledged to the project. Thank you guys so much. I will be doing your tweets to say thank you probably at the end of the night, or maybe tomorrow after I've slept. I don't know. But thank you guys so much. It would be amazing. I know we've only got an hour left, but it would be incredible if we got to like 2,000 by the end of the night. So please do keep spreading the word. It would be brilliant. Plus we've got I need to get you guys to sign stuff before you disappear as well, so we better do that. So to remind you why we are here, and to remind you why 2,000 would be amazing to get to, why don't we show you the Kickstarter campaign pitch video? Yeah, okay, go for it, Alex.
Hi, my name is Kate Madison, and I want to tell you about my brand new action-packed and exciting live-action fantasy web series called Ren. Ren is the first major production I've spearheaded since I produced and directed Born of Hope, my Lord of the Rings prequel, which has now been viewed over 20 million times online. As you might have guessed, I've always loved fantasy. I love the danger and darkness of Game of Thrones, the epic history of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and the fun of Legend of the Seeker. It's shows like these that have inspired this project. So Ren will tell a serious story with amazing fights, epic scenery, a strong female lead, a splash of humour and fantastic characters we will all fall in love with. The series tells the story of Ren, a young woman whose life is turned upside down when she finds herself marked by an ancient spirit. The markings left on her face brand her evil and dangerous in everyone's eyes, even her own father's. Hunted by the powerful ruling order of the Knath, she must go on the run with a young rogue called Hunter to discover the truth of what she has become. One of the main things that made Born of Hope such an amazing project was the fan community, and with your involvement we can make Ren just as groundbreaking and raise the bar for fantasy web series. So the reason I want to do a web series rather than a feature film is that a web series has the ability to grow and adapt. There will, for example, be various ways for you to express your feelings towards characters and storylines through the online community, which means that you get the chance to influence and shape the production through each new season. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. First, we need to make season 1, and that's why I'm here. Making a fantasy show is really expensive. The reason it costs so much is that unlike a production set in modern day, everything for a fantasy show needs to be designed and created from scratch. There are costumes, props, weapons, locations, animals, visual effects, and many other things that all cost money. Now, I've set the Kickstarter goal at £35,000. However, this is just the bare minimum. I managed to make Born of Hope for about the same, but we had to beg, borrow, and steal, and worst of all, we had to compromise. I really don't want to have to compromise the production quality of Ren. Basically, the more money we raise, the better the final show will be. So, how do you get involved? You pledge an amount and choose a reward. It's that simple. We've created some great rewards to fit all budgets, so check them out. I think there's something for everyone, but we're very willing to add more. If you have any ideas or suggestions for rewards, please do let us know in the comments section and we'll do our best to add them. Now, I know that not everyone is able to contribute in a financial way, but there are other things that you can do. You can become an ambassador for the project. Tell everyone you know, your family, your friends, and spread the word on social media sites, forums, and blogs. In fact, grab hold of total strangers and tell them. Thank you for listening. I'm so glad to have you with me at the start of this amazing journey, and I can't wait to bring Ren to life.
Hello, I'm back. You guys are awesome. This has been a really fun night. I was terrified when we started, but it's been such good fun. Okay, I have some other questions. Here we go. Right. No, I'm again probably going to say this wrong. I think it's Joan, or I think this. Yeah, sorry if I'm doing this wrong. Do you know there's a fan film project about Philly and Killy, about their early life, and will you ever film another Tolkien related stuff? I answered this question earlier about the Tolkien related stuff. Tolkien inspired, but not fan films. Not unlicensed projects. If I got offered a licensed project, yes, brilliant. But I am not going to be doing any unlicensed stuff, and plus it's really cool to be able to do original stuff like Ren. And no, I didn't know about this fan film about Philly and Killy. I will go and check it out. Someone asked, so Trevor has asked, what will Christopher Dane's role be in the new project? Good question. We haven't cast it yet, so I don't know. There is a role called Khan, and that's quite a good role that would work for Chris. so he might play Khan, who knows. And just to let you all know as well that it's not a definite that I will be playing Ren. It's quite likely I won't be playing Ren. Be interesting to know your thoughts on that, whether that's a good thing or a disappointing thing or what. But I am not convinced that I am quite right for the role of Ren in the way I am envisioning her. But we will see. I'm not going to rule it out because I would love to play Ren. It's kind of why I came up with the idea. But anyway, so we'll see about that one. I think Alexandra Kelly, hello. I did a show reel with Alexandra and she says hello, she waves, I wave back. So apart from Ren, is there any other female characters in the series? Well, yes. Although in the first series they're only kind of bit parts, they're kind of featured little extras roles almost. However, I definitely have a plan to try and introduce more female characters. I like the idea of in the second season it becomes not just about Ren and Hunter who have escaped the village essentially, but it becomes about them and a potential band of outcasts, which will probably definitely include some female characters. So yes, stand by on that one. I don't want this to be just a one female role in the whole thing at all. Any other question? I think we have a question that will work really well for our other guys, Danny and Howard, who will be leaving soon. So how about we bring those guys back in? Come in, join me on the couch. They've been signing away. Have you got wrist cramp?
Yes.
Okay, you might have to get cozier than that. And
Cozier?
I don't know, camera angle wise.
Is that cozy enough?
That's awesome. I've forgotten the question though, because Chris, you knew the question. Here it is, the question, if I can read his writing. Okay, so before you guys leave us, thank you very much for being here. I think everyone's enjoyed your company. People want to know, and I don't know who exactly wants to know this, but hello to you. The most defining moment for your character. So why don't you go first? You'll remind us exactly who your character is, and in Born of Hope, of course, this is.
I play Hal Brom, who is Arathorn's right-hand man. He's sort of trusted friend. They've known each other all their lives, and loyal, will do anything for him.
Significantly, also the father of Halbarad, who is Tolkien's character that he wrote.
Yes.
Yes, from the Grey Company.
I haven't forgotten my children.
No, don't forget your children.
Who do appear in the film.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
We have a little dance together at the wedding scene.
Yep.
I mean, for me, the key part I like in the film for my character is my sort of battle cry as I break the orc's neck, as we do a bit of sort of wrestling, forest wrestling. It's a new ranger sort of sport.
It's that camera, by the way.
It's this one, sorry. Forest wrestling. I mean, rangers. We like to sort of do a bit of sword fighting and bow and arrow work, but you can't beat a bit of grappling. So I think that was a great moment, if that's what you mean.
Oh, well, I think that is a great moment. You have a lot of hair whippage and spinning things.
A lot of hair whippage.
So yes, some lovely photos of you whipping hair.
Crucially, with that, obviously, I'm tied up fighting orcs, and I lose my mount. I lose Arathorn. I can't keep up with him. I'm waylaid, and obviously that's then the defining moment where he gets caught out. I'm not sort of looking out for him. So I do feel after that a little bit of guilt.
Well, to me as well, that is
You've
kind
got to live
of
with that really for the rest of it.
Yeah, because I think that's what that cry is about in a way. It's not just it's the frustration with that this orc has waylaid you, or these old orcs have waylaid you, and it's just and you're trying to get to Arathorn, who you know is like almost running into a suicide trap potentially, or just he's usually you're by his side. That's how you work. You never go off alone and things like that. And he's run off, and you're just fighting, and this orc will not die, sort of thing. And that thing is a just freaking die, and
then I'll pick up a sword to get, and then another wave of orcs.
Yeah.
So I'm held back again, and it's that I'm caught. Obviously, I've got to fend these orcs off, but the other part of me is that I need to be over there. So
yeah, no, I totally think that's a great moment. Yeah. It's a great shot as well. It looks lovely. Cool. What about you, Danny? Remind us again who your character is in Born of Hope.
Okay, so both my character and Kate's were not in Tolkien's works, and we have a sort of love triangle going on.
We're all very stupid in Born of Hope.
It's sort of with
the horse,
with Beth as well. It's like a there's like a like.
It's a sort of snake. It's a love snake.
Triangle.
That sounds really wrong. But yeah. Anyway, so getting back to my defining moment. So I'm in love with Kate's character in the film, and the sort of way my story plays out, and it's over a sort of course of time. I finally get to the stage where I have to sort of tell her. And then
it's because I'm incredibly blind. So
yeah,
you have to make
incredibly. Yeah.
You almost slap me around the face and go, duh.
Yeah, exactly. And then I make the ultimate sacrifice and lose my head a little bit. Yeah. So that's pretty much.
In more ways than one.
Yeah. My defining moment in the film. I mean, we sort of get to that stage. Our characters get to the stage where we actually are sort of gonna come together, and it's like
finally.
I've got the girl, and then what happens?
Orcs are like that. They ruin everything.
They do. They do.
As we discussed earlier, that orcs and trolls,
Just,
they ruin relationships.
They do. They came in and
spoiled.
Yeah, and I died with a smile on my face, but without my head.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here this evening.
Thank you. It's been
really good, and thank you so much for being a part of Born of Hope. I should really say that, and for helping to launch this next project. I'm sure we can find roles for you somewhere along the line.
That'd be cool.
Absolutely. I mean, that's again joy of web series. There's plenty of characters that can come and go and whatever. So yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to.
Cool.
Work with you guys again.
See everyone at a little mini reunion. We haven't seen each other for
I know, it's
a
really,
long time.
really great seeing you guys. I mean, it's been too long, and we should get together and...
We should have proper beers and things.
We should do that. Especially with if you're watching in other parts of the world, we're in London, and it's usually really not very good weather. It's so hot.
It's
here
really
at the
hot,
moment.
and it's 11:15, and I'm pretty hot, but there we go. I mean... Of course, sorry.
You're very hot.
It's after 9, I can say that, right? Okay, these guys are going to head home to their own little beds. Thank you guys so much. Do remember to sign your stuff for the guys, because there's lots of people. We are going to cut to, are we not? We're going to cut to a blooper reel for Born of Hope. Is that right? Am I wrong? Nobody talking to me? Nobody's talking to me.
We can do if you want.
Well, what were you going to say?
I was going to go, thank you guys!
Oh, thank you guys! Okay, great. Yes, thank you guys.
Goodbye.
All right.
Have a good evening.
You can wander away.
Guys, take care.
Yes.
Come on,
Yes.
let's go find some orcs in the night.
Yes, go kill them orcs. Awesome. So I'm now not sure what's happening because my team are not telling me what's going on. Here comes.
I'm coming in.
Hey, what was your most defining moment?
Well, that's the thing. It sort of links up to the next item as well, because I think that the defining moment for Arathorn is when you have died, and the village has been sort of almost burned down, and he just realises that these orcs who have fled, they will always be looking for the king and try to kill him.
As well now,
So at the moment where he's done the speech to his men, so like, let no orc get out of this forest alive.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit like Danny's defining moment. It's that sacrifice where he's sort of realised, well, I have to go and kill each and every orc that has seen me, my son, whoever, because they are a threat, and I might not come back.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think you're. I don't think you're necessarily thinking you won't, but you're so pumped that it's like, I must kill everything to save my family. Yeah. Every orc in that forest must die, which is kind of why you plow on through when everyone else gets waylaid. You're just like, I'm going for the ones that are the fastest. You know, I'm going to make sure I'm not going to stop. You know,
as long as he can see an orc in front of him, he'll keep running.
Yeah.
He'll keep running. He fights 4 or 5 of them, kills them. One of them is trying to escape, and he thinks wrongly that's the last one. So that's why he throws his sword, because he's like, I'm so knackered, I can't run, but I need to stop them. So I throw my sword, and I think, yeah, okay, I've done it, and then it's behind him. But what
I
it
hope
leads.
Rich is alright. He was meant to be here this evening and was waylaid in right down in the west coast of the UK in Cornwall. So.
But that defining moment sort of leads us to the bloodline of the king.
Oh, what a segue.
So we are going. We had a brilliant performance by John Glue about an hour ago. So we're going to do it again for you guys who have joined us later, or for you guys who've been here all along, and it's a bit of a treat. So let's bring John back in.
John helped write, or John wrote and performed this for the end credits of the film. Shall I sit and sort of think? Because apparently people liked your facial expressions during the last performance.
He was good. He played a lot of kind of air ukulele while I was playing. I saw he did these little twitchy things.
Power fist and things.
It's good. You can. Do you want to sing a verse?
Oh.
It's not the 80s. It's not
It'll
the 80s.
make it too high or something.
Oh, okay.
You can do it.
I'll challenge myself. I'll harmonise. No, this could be disastrous.
Yeah, it really
I'll let you do it.
The rippling of water, the echoing of conversations gone, get carried like a secret of all that's been and all will carry on till it finds new shore. A new journey begins once more. Begins once more. And these lands retain a memory. It's whispered in the wind. The peaks along the skyline, they catalogue all things. It's only when you listen that new journeys begin. Can they begin? Preserve a memory learned in a lifetime. Through our stories you will know our endeavor and our hope, living on within the bloodline of a king. They live forever in this land, all reflected in the water, beneath the memory of man. It's only when you're looking that new pathways appear. Can they appear and preserve the memory learned in a lifetime? And through our stories you will know, our endeavour and our hopes, living on within the bloodline of a king, living on within the bloodline of a king. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, John.
It's been my absolute pleasure. Please fund this project. I think it sounds really exciting, and it's something that needs to happen.
Awesome. I didn't
best.
ask him to do that.
You didn't know, but like I really enjoyed Born of Hope, like to watch and to be part of, and I think it's one of those things that independent kind of work needs funding like this, and this is a beautiful way of doing it. I mean, this is technology at its best. So if you like enjoy the work that they've done in the past, then you should definitely get on board, because this is what it's all about.
Yep, totally.
I'll see you very soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming. That
Have
was
a lovely
awesome.
night.
Loved listening to the songs again. Awesome. Cool. I think we should, if I can pounce this on Alex, we should show another blooper reel from Born of Hope, because they're good fun. It's and I think you deserve some more bloopers. So here we go. Cue that up, Alex.
What are you going to do to all the people who, if they don't donate?
Oh, stuff. Lots of horrible stuff.
Like what?
Rotting. Killing.
I'm going to put them in a forest which is windy and damp for 3 or 4 hours with no thick clothing on and see how they like it.
And then?
Then I'm going to force them to wear that hat because that is an affront to nature. It wouldn't be too bad if it didn't have that sort of goblin at the top. Look at that.
Be my best man. Go get me some Haribo and come back, okay?
The guy is stupid, the thing is that everyone is a bit thick.
Oh, I know both. Break my front.
Do you have a homing beacon for things?
We do have, because it's just the way we kind of, it's like pigeons. We send off pigeons flying all over the place, and then they have this kind of humming device in their heads or in their wigs, and they just come straight back. That's the way it works.
So what does it sound like, this spidey sense, that pigeon sense? Does it like make a noise?
It does make a noise. It's a little bit like when you step on a squirrel, but just constant. That's what it's like.
Can we hear an example?
Well, I haven't got a squirrel, so you know when you step on a squirrel.
On a squirrel?
Yeah. What's the sound that comes out?
It's like a squeaky something. Yeah, it squeaks definitely.
So you have, so basically you have stepped on a squirrel
It
before?
warbles.
Oh yeah, we've all done it. Have you not?
Yeah, I mean, have you never stepped on a squirrel?
No.
You never?
No.
You should try me. I mean, how can you get a life?
You haven't lived.
Step
You
on
haven't lived.
Who would you prefer, T-boy or T-girl?
T-boy. I prefer T-girl actually. Naughty T-girl. With little Pinny.
She got biscuits.
She got biscuits. Oh, we have biscuits. See, this is the production assistant. Assists the production by giving biscuits out.
Cheese and onions, dude. Oh, and a Chucky Bicky. Dude.
Oh, you're my new favourite person.
That's a dietary problem.
Thank you very much.
Yourself.
All different flavours in there.
I'll trade you.
What right? Smoky bacon.
Why does this ranger look so pale?
He's dead. Today, I think it's going pretty well. This is the first time that our family's been together, and we're quite excited. Two and a half years later, and
Yeah, that doesn't.
all four are together. Prepare to see fireworks.
We think we're quite a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
In that this is the first time we've been seen together in public, and one of us is actually dead.
Do you die saving someone?
I hope so.
That would be good.
I'm not sure what my motivation is for this. We'll
A
find
branch
it.
fell on you, unexpectedly. Oh no.
Fell down a rather large hill. Oh shit.
Running running away from the horse.
Oh well. Game over.
Hey!
Hello guys, I'm back. Okay, all the other guys have left now. Sorry to see them go, but I hope you agree, did a brilliant job broadcasting live on the internet to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this stuff. Okay, I'm going to do some more questions because there's a lot coming in and we only have like half an hour left, which is kind of crazy. So, opening act productions, which I know is Ron Newcomb. So, Ron asks, Kate, do you plan to Ren? I'm guessing is that, do you plan to play Ren? And are you also directing, and which do you prefer? Right. I am currently not necessarily planning to play Ren. I would love to. I mean, it's kind of why I came up with the idea, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm potentially the best person for the role the way I see it. I will, hopefully, I will be in the series, hopefully, and stuff. I mean, you know, as I say, characters can come and go and change and grow and whatever. So, even if I don't play Ren, I should be in there somewhere. And at the moment, I am planning to direct it. But none of this is always set in stone, so I'm not ruling out playing Ren, and I'm not even ruling out that bringing in a guest director in a way, especially in, again, later seasons. If I direct this first one, maybe other people will direct other seasons. So yes, so that's what I'm thinking at the moment, Ron. Oh, Emily, hello. I'm glad you were watching that. No, I didn't sing. Sorry. Maybe I should have, but I could have just messed it up. So, another question. Here we go. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Steve is saying it's almost like two different songs. With Chris, it was uplifting and a little goofy, and with Kate, gentle and calming. Oh, perfect then for us. So, oh, okay. Jodie, hi Jodie, who is a brilliant illustrator and has done some of our little bits of concept art for Ren. Jodie was asking about the possibility. You mentioned the possibility of having a concept artist. Will the official artwork be available online? Yes, pretty much. I'm pretty sure it will be. I mean, we've got some pieces of concept art up on the Kickstarter campaign page, and there's a few other pieces you can find in the Facebook page at the moment. The official pieces, once they're sort of finished, will probably be available to download, or definitely in sort of potential photo books or downloadable photo albums, as some of the reward tiers have in there. So yes. Cool. What else have we got here? Will it be possible for us grassroots fans to get involved in the filming as extras, etc., like Born of Hope? Please say yes. This is from Steve Dunn. Steve, yes, I'm pretty sure that's how we will work. Of course, there is a Kickstarter tier that mentions about being a featured extra. So you will definitely have your face on screen doing various reactions, maybe even lines, who knows. But in the first season of Ren, it's, as I've said, it's all set in the village that she lives in, and so there are a lot of people. We need to populate that village. There's a big market going on, so lots of market stall holders and things, and then there is a big trial, a kind of witch hunt type thing, and the whole village will turn out for that. So a lot of extras will be needed, and we're hoping to use you grassroots fans and you and all you dedicated people like the Vikings of Middle England and stuff. So we will see, but I'm sure we can get you guys involved, definitely. We have Christopher Dane coming in.
Hello.
Hello.
I haven't left yet.
No.
I'm still here.
Still here.
Yes, you were talking about Ren and about the market and all that sort of thing. So this question is sort of a little bit more sort of on Ren. What was the inspiration behind it? What inspired you to this to do this thing?
Good question. Well, I mean, I've been wanting to do a new project since Born of Hope was finished, really, and it's taken quite a while. I mean, Born of Hope's been out 3 and a bit years now, but it's taken a while to sort of really find that momentum, but also to sort of figure out what is the best route to go. We have feature film ideas, and we're contemplating the feature film angle, and still are. We're not sort of ruling that out by any means. Feature films can be very hard to fund. They obviously take a lot more of a budget than potentially a web series could, for example. And we wanted, I'm very keen generally to have a decent budget enough to offer people not an incentive, but everyone on Born of Hope worked for free, and they did an amazing job, and it was great, and it was a really dedicated team in that sense. But everyone also still needs to live and pay rent and things like that, and I would love to be able to do projects where I can at least offer people what they should be given, or even a low end thing or something. You know, you can't make a sustainable series or film or any sort of thing if everyone is always having to work for free and do other jobs on the side and things like that. Now I've waffled. So
inspiration.
Yes,
for Ren.
inspiration for Ren. Well, so I wanted to do another fantasy project. I've been sort of noticing how web series are really getting bigger, and I thought, what a great idea! Like, a feature film's all very well that we can go out and do an hour-long thing or an hour and 2-hour film and it's done. But I loved the idea of something that's ongoing and can really grow. And then sort of, I can't think where it sort of came from, but I got this idea, a kind of image of this girl with these markings on her face. I think probably because lots of video games and things, characters so often have tattoos and markings, and it's a big fantasy thing, but we don't see it much like on telly or in film or anything. People don't often have the markings, and so it sort of started there, and then it was like, well, where does that come from? And had this great, I thought a great idea of this sort of good evil thing, and kind of being almost possessed by this ancient spirit which causes these markings, and obviously completely changes her and her aspect on herself, her sort of opinion of herself and everyone else's, including her own father. And it's that sort of like, 1 minute you're a normal sort of little young woman living in this village, and boom, the next minute you're sort of witch hunted by this ruling order of the Knath, and your own father isn't sure what to think of you and things, because everyone's been told that the marked are evil and dangerous and cursed, essentially, and branded by the gods. So it's that sort of thing, and that's sort of looking at that, and then taking inspiration as well from various other books and games and shows and whatever else. So whether it's Lord of the Rings, obviously, really, and that sort of really real fantasy that I really like, sort of very grounded in a sense, even though there's elves and things in there. And shows like Game of Thrones, which is so popular at the moment, and I love it myself. It's so, again, so raw and so real, and yet it's sort of fantasy, which I love. And then sort of taking the other stuff that I like, the sort of more light-hearted things like Merlin, BBC's Merlin, and Legend of the Seeker, and Xena and Hercules, and those sort of fun things, and kind of trying to sort of put those together a little bit and find a nice happy medium in the middle where we get enough light-hearted fun, but it's not so tongue-in-cheek, and it's not too silly, and it's not silly, and it's not just for kids. It's very much, I'm hoping to get that happy balance where, you know, you've got the fun, but you also know that when your characters are in danger, and when the sort of the masked man in this case at the moment, you know, the Knath leader, when he's around, everyone's in trouble, sort of thing, or the lead character Ren is in trouble, and you really feel that she's in trouble.
It's real danger, as opposed to a little bit silly.
Well, yes, that, you know, so often fantasy villains especially are done in a very sort of camp way, very over the top and silly way, and I definitely don't like that so much. So I'm very much wanting to try and make my villains as evil as possible without, you know, ruling out people who like a bit of fun and stuff, and making it not accessible for kids and things, but getting that happy balance and merging all the things that we love really from fantasy, essentially.
I think for me, what's sort of the main thing about Ren is that at the fundamental stage of it, there is this very human problem, a very human conflict, and then on top of that, like as you say, Ren, it's about other people's perception. You know that you're the same person, but other people look at you and go, "Oh no, you're changed," and you can't. That's a very, very human thing.
Yeah,
and then you put the fantasy on top of that.
Yeah.
But it is essentially, and I think that's what Tolkien is good at as well. It is placing those very human conflicts and problems at the heart of a fantasy story.
I think so, and a bit like Game of Thrones in a sense that you can start out almost normal human type story as if it is from the past, and then keep adding fantasy elements so that it grows and builds in that sense. So again, we're starting with the very races of men. It's set in a sort of relatively small little village and things, in a sort of provincial little town, and not seeing much of the world, and then suddenly our character is kind of forced on this journey out into the wilds, sort of, and we will experience the world and learn about the world as she does. And
with them, yeah,
which will be really cool. Yeah, I better check for some more questions. Absolutely. Because we've only got 20 minutes left.
I think.
In fact, while I'm checking, are we thinking on the same thing? Why don't we show another bloopers reel?
We could, or maybe the Kickstarter one.
Do you think? Well, how are we doing on the Kickstarter? Because it would be so amazing to hit 2,000 before the evening is out. And remember that everyone who pledges this evening while we are filming for the next 20 minutes gets signed photos by all of the four of us that we're here. And at certain levels, like if anyone else wants to be a Kickstarter producer, then I have a signed script by the writer, and that I can sign, and Chris can sign, and any of us can sign it as well. There is one more script that needs to be collected by the next pledger at that reward level. So get pledging, and get telling your friends as well. Like, just send it out there. If you've pledged already, just blog and Facebook.
It's not just about money. It is about getting the word out there. Yeah. So
we don't want to be obscure. You kind of need to be seen. We need to be seen and heard.
To get out there.
So,
but should we show the Kickstarter thing just to remind people?
We'll do that and then
have a blooper later.
Yeah, we might do a blooper almost straight after. We'll see. We'll come back to us for some questions and then a blooper reel. Yeah. All right.
Hi, my name is Kate Madison, and I want to tell you about my brand new action-packed and exciting live-action fantasy web series called Ren. Ren is the first major production I've spearheaded since I produced and directed Born of Hope, my Lord of the Rings prequel, which has now been viewed over 20 million times online. As you might have guessed, I've always loved fantasy. I love the danger and darkness of Game of Thrones, the epic history of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and the fun of Legend of the Seeker. It's shows like these that have inspired this project. So Ren will tell a serious story with amazing fights, epic scenery, a strong female lead, a splash of humour and fantastic characters we will all fall in love with. The series tells the story of Ren, a young woman whose life is turned upside down when she finds herself marked by an ancient spirit. The markings left on her face brand her evil and dangerous in everyone's eyes, even her own father's. Hunted by the powerful ruling order of the Knath, she must go on the run with a young rogue called Hunter to discover the truth of what she has become. One of the main things that made Born of Hope such an amazing project was the fan community. And with your involvement, we can make Ren just as groundbreaking and raise the bar for fantasy web series. So the reason I want to do a web series rather than a feature film is that a web series has the ability to grow and adapt. There will, for example, be various ways for you to express your feelings towards characters and storylines through the online community, which means that you get the chance to influence and shape the production through each new season. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. First, we need to make season 1, and that's why I'm here. Making a fantasy show is really expensive. The reason it costs so much is that unlike a production set in modern day, everything for a fantasy show needs to be designed and created from scratch. There are costumes, props, weapons, locations, animals, visual effects, and many other things that all cost money. Now, I've set the Kickstarter goal at £35,000. However, this is just the bare minimum. I managed to make Born of Hope for about the same, but we had to beg, borrow and steal, and worst of all, we had to compromise. I really don't want to have to compromise the production quality of Ren. Basically, the more money we raise, the better the final show will be. So, how do you get involved? You pledge an amount and choose a reward. It's that simple. We've created some great rewards to fit all budgets, so check them out. I think there's something for everyone, but we're very willing to add more. If you have any ideas or suggestions for rewards, please do let us know in the comments section and we'll do our best to add them. Now, I know that not everyone is able to contribute in a financial way, but there are other things that you can do. You can become an ambassador for the project. Tell everyone you know, your family, your friends, and spread the word on social media sites, forums, and blogs. In fact, grab hold of total strangers and tell them. Thank you for listening. I'm so glad to have you with me at the start of this amazing journey, and I can't wait to bring Ren to life.
Hello, we're back.
I'm just
Oh, Pretzel Man. Hi to Ash, by the way, who said hello earlier and has backed the project. Thank you, Ash. Pretzel Man says thank you. Yes.
Hello.
Okay, I thought I would take a little moment because we've only got 15 minutes left, which is incredible. The night has just flown by. I thought 4 hours would feel like a long time, but it's flown. And we still have lots of footage we could have shown and things like that. So, yeah, brilliant. We've just hit 30 backers, by the way. Heard that. So that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, keep going. Keep it going. That'll be awesome. And all you 30, remember, you get your signed pictures and things. So, cool. So I thought I would talk a little bit about the community and why we're doing this, really. We're doing this for you. We're doing it to launch the Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter is about you guys, in a way. I mean, the joy of Born of Hope was an incredibly collaborative production. You know, like I was sort of pointing the way, but I had like 400 or I mean no more than that, 1,000 people maybe behind me, essentially about 400 people or something in the cast and crew, and then another 400 or something as backers, like helping to make the project happen. And as we've said as well, we had the reenactors helping, coming along and being a part of it. We had people around the world like doing designs and making I mean, Paula, who wrote it, Paula DeSanti, I should point out that as she's listed in the credits, she's listed as Alex K. Aldridge. We finally revealed that that's a ghost name. Is that what? Yeah, that's a ghost-writer name. She's actually Paula DeSanti from Michigan in the States. Hello Paula, if you're managing to watch any of this, thank you so much for writing and helping with the project, of course. Chris did a bit of writing, I did a bit of writing, but Paula was the main person behind it. But not only did she write the script, she also created, I've got some of them there, but I don't know if I'll grab them, but you talk. She created these, various things. Oh, come on. Here we go. Sorry, props to show you. Paula created all of the quivers from Born of Hope, and all of the arrows, the elf arrows, and the orc arrows and things, and she created orc quivers as well. I think this is your quiver. Yep. I think this one. Yep. Like beautiful pieces that she created and posted to us from Michigan. And she also posted a whole load of baskets and various things, and painted a load of eggs, and that's just like that's just one person. That's just Paula. And we had Edward as well in Canada, who helped design the swords, and he also helped design the Ring of Barahir. And he got a guy from Jason from locally to him, who then made that ring and sent it over to us. This beautiful rings to fit the actors and everything. Absolutely unique items. I mean, Edward did. He did a huge amount of work for us, really, being very much almost the head of the department for the art department a little bit, and creating design manuals and various things. I mean, it's a huge amount of work. He created the maps and these orc swords and loads of things and shipped them over. And those are just 2 people. I mean, there were people all over the world involved in Born of Hope. And that's what we really want to bring across into Ren. It wants to be a collaborative piece. We want to get people involved. Obviously, you know, it's great to have a team right close where you're sort of making things or whatever, but input from everyone around the world is so key, and that's another reason why web series are great, because I'm not planning to have this web series sort of blocked anywhere, as you know, but if it's up to me, this is a web series which to me means worldwide. You know, anyone can see this, and yeah, so it's for you guys, it's for everyone to get involved, really. And the Kickstarter is just the start, really. You know, we have 30 days to try and raise a great amount of money so that we can produce something to the highest quality that we can. We've proved we can do it for not that much money with Born of Hope, but imagine what we could do with more, basically.
And basically it's all really down to just wanting to create more fantasy content out there, because there is some stuff, but there's not enough.
There's not enough, and you guys deserve it. You know, why should we have to just wait for The Hobbit all the time? You know, The Hobbit's only got 2 more movies, and then that's gone. Hollywood doesn't produce a huge amount of fantasy work because they do it at such a high level, and it's brilliant when they do it, but it's we want to see more than that. You know, we don't want to wait a year every time we want to see something that's fantasy. So let's create something together. Why wait for other people to do it? Let's do it ourselves, basically.
Basically what is happening, that the Kickstarter for Ren Season 1 is basically really a Kickstarter. It is from the very start of the project. Yes, we are scripting, we have ideas and stuff, but it is the very start of the project that you have a chance to come on board and be a part of. And then hopefully Season 2, 3, 4, 5 will sort of snowball into a proper production, so that you can be on board from the start of this project.
Absolutely, that's the joy. You know, it's not like we've done everything. You know, we'll be especially certain backer levels, you know, get to see like casting auditions and things, and get to give an input as well. Like, you know, we'll be sort of sharing various things, and you guys get to have your say about what you think of oh, I like that person, or I like that piece of concept art, or you know, and that sort of thing, and we'll be listening to it. So it's all about that, totally. I didn't want to do something and then go, well, here's a finished thing, you know, you have no input. It's like, no, let's literally do it from the start, so that you guys can really literally join that journey. Like, it's very much a journey, and you can follow us on it. So
should we show just the last blooper?
I think we've only got a few minutes left,
and then we'll round it up afterwards.
Yes, absolutely. Here's the last Born of Hope blooper for the night. Thank you so much if you've been with us all this time. We will have a sign out.
Don't go away just now.
No, we're nearly there. Come on, stay with us for the last 8 minutes, and keep those pledges coming in and things. So here's the last Born of Hope blooper.
We're inconspicuous as a camera crew. No one will ever know. This is like guerrilla filmmaking at its worst, because we're so obvious.
Could make Chris jealous by giving him the splatter across the face.
That was my idea. She stole it from me.
It's my precious.
It's all about Dane, isn't it?
Sorry, mate.
It's all about Dane.
It's all about the day.
Can we just fire that guy or something?
Let's get Keanu Reeves in. He's got more dramatic intensity.
Right, okay, that's it.
It's proper effects making.
Yeah,
well,
he's the
Oh,
clumsy one.
now we get jealousy.
He has a Pepsi as well.
When you run into a battle situation, the orcs are so...
Or just into a tree, as in your case.
That's what happened to me,
Rangers, and they were killing orcs too, and then I got split from the group. Where's my face?
It's video evidence.
What was that little detour?
And that was me going, we need to shove it. We've been up the...
I think we should, yeah.
Yeah, we probably should. That was me thinking, is it that way, or am I going up that way to then come back, and then I realised that I was wrong.
Just her walking in the woods, coming out, and then obviously we'll break to the close-up, the handheld, bit of drama, bit of so-so, bit of hey, bit of don't go, but bit of go.
Which detour? Are you talking about going down that small road?
Yeah.
That was what Tom said to do. It was a shortcut.
Well,
Apparently.
not.
But it was beautiful. There was lots of nice views. So I was like, ooh, Arador
There's a
views.
couple of Arador views.
Exactly.
But
So I was actually location scouting.
All right, that's it. Location scouting. Will you believe that?
What do you want to carry? Camera or tripod? Go on then.
Damn. Shouldn't have given her a choice.
Oh, that was probably a bad idea, actually. You can have it back when we get to the steep and dangerous bit. No problem.
We're here, it's cold, I'm drinking beer. Fantastic.
All I know is that
Ash brought biscuits. We love Ash with a passion. Because Ash brought biscuits.
He's a biscuit pusher. My biscuit pusher, because he pushes the best down biscuits.
Yeah, everyone's very, very mature. I only work with mature people.
There's a lot of this going on, I don't like it. Stop it. Really.
I'm sure that's enough.
This could lead to violence. You realise that?
Yeah.
It's very close.
Yeah.
Hey!
Hey guys, I'm back for the last time tonight because it's about 4 minutes to midnight here in the UK and we have almost finished our 4 hours of live broadcasting to you guys. Wow, it's been quite an amazing night. We have, I don't know, we've got over 30 backers on our Kickstarter campaign, which is amazing. Over £1,500 raised already, which is a huge start. It's amazing. Do keep spreading the word about it. I just want to round off really by saying thank you so much for watching. It's been really good fun. It's very tempting to do this sort of thing again, but don't hold me to that. I just want to remind you though that this is only the beginning. We have launched the project, we've launched the Kickstarter, but there are 30 more days to go before we reach our target. Yeah, I baked earlier. No. This is our goal, but we can go past this, remember. But we need to do this so that we can decorate the cake nicer and light the candles. please help us get there, and then we can create an amazing show for you guys. It's going to be really good fun. I'm really excited by everything. This night has really kickstarted the project for us as well. We've been working towards this for a while, and it's so nice to get it off the ground in such an amazing way. You guys are so supportive. I have loads more questions from you guys that are still coming in, and I will look through them and try and do like an update video for the Kickstarter campaign. So become a backer and get that video when I update it with the answers to as many of your questions as possible, because there are more. So thank you guys for asking all those amazing questions. Do keep asking them. I will update various points. I think that's pretty much all I have to say. So I think before I start to waffle too much, that I should probably call it a night. It's been amazing. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I'm gonna log out and see you guys very soon. Bye.